won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hunting salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilantes calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Promise lost in Nintendo's dream, delusional faith blinded by the gleam. Defends every flaw like it's a sacred cause, but his blind devotion's just breaking laws. Player SS brings no honor or pride, throws family shade when he's running to hide. No integrity, just bitterness and spite, but the vigilante's here to set it right. We're hunting salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. Cast guys, fake words can't hold the line. Sony fanboys smoke but his reviews don't shine. Switch for shields, the corporate game, selling hype and spin while we call out the shame. Dark trays and Nintendo fanboys stuck on repeat, says the same old lines like a broken beat. Recycling words, no fresh insight, but we break through the noise and bring the fight. We're hunting salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys falling fast, hear the vigilante's calls. No fake reviews, no corporate lies, just truth and fire burning in our eyes. If you're tired of fake, if you're done with the spin, join the fight, let the real talk begin. We're here for the truth, no need to hide, so make sure to like and subscribe. I'm the angry vigilante here to fight the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Solve content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil. You can cry in the comments but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hunting salty tears, tearing down the walls. Fanboys.
Hello, everybody. How's it all going? So we got Powerman UK. Good morning, good morning, man. We got Duran Davis K. Who is that liar? I have no idea who we're talking about. If you're talking about me, I'm not no liar. So how is everybody's evening going, or morning technically now, or evening depending where you're at? How's it all going, guys? So for this guy that you see up on the screen right now, this guy, where's his channel at? He decided to make a video where he shouted me out, and I really appreciate it. So thank you so much, man, for shouting me out. Where's his channel at? It's Dustin something. But if you are watching this, the only thing I will suggest when it comes to your content is I notice that you like to do more than one niche. So from my experience, I've been doing YouTube for about 2 years now with different types of channels, and I have learned that it's better to stick with one niche per channel. And so his channel's name is Dustin Nunn, the real Dustin Nunn. He made a video. He likes to talk about, yo, what up, ABG? I'm doing pretty good. Just so you know, it's not ABG, it's ABS now. There's already an angry vigilante gamer, and I don't want to sit here and get in trouble for having the same name as him because he had it first. So it's just the Angry Vigilante Show, but I'm doing good. But yep, you know, this guy, he's not a fan. He is a fan. He's a huge fan of my channel. He talks about Nintendo, but he also talks about politics also. So that's why I said you should probably stick with just one niche for your type of channel, just as a pro tip, you know. But I got some great content for you guys. Oh yeah, we're going to be sitting here talking about, you know, the great Harmon Smith. We got stuff about Player Essence, so don't you guys worry. And by any chance, does my audio sound good? Because I had someone set up my microphone and my audio, and when I was recording videos, it all sounded good. So, are you guys hearing my microphone perfectly fine? Just want to make sure before we start. So, we are going to get into it. Hello there, Stephen Ramey. Oh, yeah. Let me open up that. There we go. So I got Discord open. If there's anybody who disagrees with me, or if you see anybody disagree, don't be afraid to let them know. Hey, if they got a problem with what I say or disagree, they can call in on Discord. Awesome. Thank you, Power Mad UK. Does it sound better than normal by any chance? DJ Orky. There you go. Thumbs up. So, yep, we are about to start it. We got a few people coming on in.
Metal Gear Solid
Alrighty.
Delta has failed. And now it's time that we process why.
Well, Harmon, I'm pretty certain that you did not use facts whatsoever before you decided to make this video. You're just going off your gut. So can you please explain how Metal Gear Solid has failed? Now, I am in the process of well, Dustin Nunn, just so you know, I don't generally mention people in the regular videos. That's usually for members, okay? So that's why I'm doing it on this one. Usually when I shout out channels, is if they're a member, man. But to you, Harmon, why have you sat here and for Metal Gear Solid, how on earth have they failed? I would like you to please explain to me. Okay, because as I'm looking it up online right now, let's see how many units that they have sold here. Let's just take a look, shall we? It sold over 1 million units worldwide already, Harmon. That is not a failure. That it just launched not too long ago. So please explain, how is that a fucking failure?
What exactly has happened with this remake? Why exactly are hardcore fans like myself avoiding it? And why exactly...
Harmon, you avoid anything that is not on your console, for crying out loud. I understand that this game is not on your platform. Maybe Nintendo should have tried harder and sat here and should have gotten them a dev kit or something on time to where they could have gotten this game on the system on time. So we understand. But please continue, Harmon.
Are game journos turning their backs on Hideo Kojima's masterwork? So to recap, I
don't know if you guys caught that. That was not me. See, he actually edited his video this time. I am proud of you, Harmon. You're actually putting in some more damn effort. Good job.
not played Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta. I haven't seen a whole lot of it. I didn't...
Then how do you know it's a failure if you haven't even played it? Have you even looked up how many units it's sold already? When a game sells 1 million units right after launch like that, that's actually a good thing. You know, I still cannot find the sales data when it comes to DK Bonanza. How many units has that sold? Please tell me, Harmon, because usually Nintendo will tell you when they hit 1 million units, and they haven't said anything. So does that mean they haven't even hit 1 million units yet? To Dustin, so you only mention members in your regular videos. Okay, fine, I understand. And by the way, today's Nintendo sucks. Can you elaborate a little bit more? To Power Mad, that's not bad for a remake. Exactly. You know, when a game just launches and it sells 1 million units, that's actually pretty good. Most likely they made their money back, you know, but DK Bonanza, they haven't even come out with the sales data yet.
didn't even know it was coming out this week. I really thought it would be coming out like later in the year, but I suppose this year has just flown by.
Yeah, Harmon, most of the year has already gone. So we have been knowing for a while that this game was going to come out. And yes, it finally has come out. And I just got it from Gameplay and I've been playing it. I've only played an hour into it. It's my very first Metal Gear Solid game. I've actually never played one before. And so far, it's not bad. I'm not like in love with it yet, but I've only played an hour into it.
This remake, to me, right from the get-go, felt completely pointless because Metal Gear Solid 3 was just released on the Metal Gear Solid Collection. That was the bundled in with other Metal Gear games that give you the full context of the.
Okay, Harmon, I understand that you are perfectly fine with graphics of games from like 2 decades ago, but not everybody wants to play games that have not aged that well. Now, I've never played the original, so I don't know, but it was on the PS2, and there are many games that have not aged well from the PS2 that if they were given a fresh coat of paint, like if they're given, if they give games that the way that Capcom gives their remakes a treatment, then it is a amazing thing that we want, Harmon. So I understand that you don't mind outdated graphics, but the rest of us actually enjoy good quality graphics. Yeah, Power Man just said Luigi Mansion 2 remake only sold 1.5 million copies, and it's been out for how long, Harmon? So according to you, is that a failure? Oh, you know damn well he'll never say that's a failure.
The story and the characters and all of that and everything we saw from Metal Gear Delta going into it seems to indicate that the developers didn't really have any idea of what they wanted to do. So instead of a
Okay, so I've never played the original, so I can't really judge which one's better. But according to RGT, they have pretty much stayed true to the game. The cutscenes are the same. The game is pretty much exactly the same. He complained about them changing the Snake song, but that was really about it. You know, so far, the only thing I've noticed is the performance issues. Even though it's had an updated patch, I'm still dealing with it. Hey, Patrick Murphy, how's it going? To AB Gator 2000. Morning all, or good afternoon for those of you across the pond. Yeah, it's morning for me. I'm here in the US.
proper remake that really improves on and expands on the original release, it is more like a remaster, honestly, because everything I've seen from it seems to indicate that the gameplay is the same, the plot's the same, the voice acting is the same. You know, it feels
Well, Harmon, that's what a remake is supposed to be. You're not supposed to change the damn story. Are you used to what Square Enix did with Final Fantasy VII? Because I don't care what anybody says. Final Fantasy VII is not a remake. That is a reimagine. That is a completely different thing. But I would sit here and have to say that I will have to actually say, Harmon, that so far from Metal Gear Solid, when you look at the graphics of each one, no, that is a remake.
feels almost as if the developers were scared to move away from the original script, to evolve it, to do anything new, original, and exciting. And there's a
That's not the point of a remake, Harmon. You don't sit here and change the story of a game. That's a reimagine or a reboot. That's not a remake.
reason for that because they knew that if they did anything to change the plot or the story, Kojima fans would have immediately been up in arms about it. And I myself
Exactly. You don't, that's not the point of a remake, Harmon. You don't change the damn story. It doesn't matter if the story was good or not. Now, you could add to the story, of course, but you don't change the meaning of the story. That is not what a remake is. What you want is a reboot.
said the same thing. The only time I was ever optimistic that this game might be good was because they were keeping the original voice actors. And it's not necessarily because I think the original game is flawless or that it couldn't be expanded on. Like, I just have absolutely no faith in Konami to improve on or do anything new with Metal Gear Solid 3.
You don't need to. From what everybody says, Metal Gear Solid 3 is like the best one in the entire series. I'll take all their words on it. Like I said, I've never played a Metal Gear Solid game before, but I am playing the Delta remake and I'm actually having some fun with it. So I don't, Harmon, the point is what you are requesting is not a remake. that is a reboot. If you want them to change the story, then you're asking for a reboot. Am I wrong, guys? Is it me, or are you supposed to change the story in a remake? Let me know. And then to Dustin Nunn, the reason why Power Mad UK, Paper Mario Thousand Year Door sold 2.1 million units. Even though I was told Paper Mario is a good game. I haven't played that one yet. The reason why Nintendo of today sucks is because of the Switch 2 being a deal breaker, because of the Switch 2 game key cards. Yep, that is exactly what. And you're going to see a lot more third-party people go to them, or third-party developers. I miss the days back when games were already CDs and cartridges. Oh, so do I. Hey, what are you talking about, my brother? Harmon Smith, this wonderful person that we're looking at, he is trying to say that Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater is a failure, even though it sold over 1 million copies. AB Gator 2000. What remakes keep the same story, such as the original Mafia Definitive? Exactly. But honestly, I think that those are more of a remaster than a remake. But that's still the same point. You don't sit here and change the damn story. Hey, I want you to talk to me. I'm sorry, man. Hey, I can't keep up with all the comments. Calm down. I'm sorry. I'm talking. Power Mad UK. It's not a remake if you change the story. Exactly. Okay? If you change the story, it becomes a reboot.
Harmon Smith, my problem with this remake has always been like what the point of it all was. Because it didn't feel like this was being re-released for a new audience. This didn't feel like
that's exactly that's what it was probably meant to do. They just did a poor job of advertising the damn thing. That's what the problem is. A lot of companies are so lazy with marketing because they expect us to do it for them because they know it's free. But Harmon, the reason for this was to update the graphics because it needed it, to give quality of life improvements because it did change the gameplay style of it. You can either do the traditional or you can do a more third-party one. I went for the newer style because it looked better to me. And yes, he is very dumb, Patrick.
Like it was made for new fans. Like, why could they not just stick with the original release? Why could they not just produce a new game? And
probably because it was outdated, Harmon. And maybe that the last Metal Gear Solid game, maybe it didn't do that well. Maybe it didn't sell as many units or something. So instead of making a new one, maybe they thought, hey, we'll remake the most popular one in the whole franchise and then make another one after that. You never know. Yes, he is so dumb, Patrick. In fiction, to reboot means to remake. For example, the Powerpuff Girls reboot did not have any connection to the original cartoon. Yeah, it could be a remake, but you also change the story. But like you said, it has nothing to do. So what he wants isn't a remake then. Patrick Adams. Not only that, but the Switch 2 also had a blurry LCD when playing in handheld mode and a weaker battery life, which is why I'm having thoughts about getting a Steam Deck. I've been thinking about getting a Steam Deck myself too. Now, when it comes to the whole blurry LCD, I haven't experienced that, but I will say the battery does suck. Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes is not remake. I mean, I would disagree. I think it stays true to the story from what I remember.
From my perspective, what I would have done as a creator is if you're going to remake Metal Gear Solid 3, which is the earliest game in the timeline, if you're going to remake Metal Gear Solid 3, you should have remade it to keep everything that happened afterward. You should have implemented those elements and made it more cohesive and more interesting. There were a lot of lore changes in Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 5 and things of that nature that could have been blended in a lot better with Metal Gear Solid 3.
Well, Harmon, if those weren't in the original remake or in the original game, why would you expect that? Yeah, sure, that could have been nice to do so, but that's if I was to give criticism like that to Nintendo saying, well, why didn't you do this or why didn't you do that? You would be throwing a fit right now because we all know that's what you love to do here. All right, let me get caught up on some comments again. Good morning and LOL. Funny thumbnail. Thank you so much, Miss Anoya. I cannot pronounce that last part. To Woods Throne. It's not letting me join the Discord. It kicks me to the Discord homepage. Can you sit here and type in your name on Discord and then I'll copy it and add it? So is Pokemon Black and White 2 a remake to Harmon? Well, I think those were actual sequels, not really remakes. Steam Deck is trash unless you like emulation, but the Steam Deck doesn't run Steam games well. I've heard it does run some well. Dead Space Remake didn't change anything, it just added to the original. Good. That's the point of it. It's a remake, not a reboot. I'm disappointed on Nintendo right now. I cannot go stream live 4K 60 hertz. Yeah, that does suck. For example, in the Powerpuff Girl reboot, the girls had another fourth sister named Bliss, and the original Powerpuff Girls, the girls had a fourth sister named Bunny. I mean, was there really a point in changing the name then if they were already going to have another sister? I am disappointed on Nintendo right now. I cannot go stream live 4K 60 hertz. Yes. Oh, sorry. That's a remake. Sorry. I'm getting to them. I'm getting to the comments.
Because I think it's very...
Yeah, if anybody has a disagree with me, you can paste your Discord name into the chat and I will copy it and then I'll add you and if you have a disagreement, you can call in. I got a question. What are you making video on, my brother? Well, right now I'm just doing salt content. I'm just reacting, but I do have a video coming out later today about Star Wars Outlaws having to use a game key card over the full cartridge.
Clear, considering like how those games turned out, that a lot of things in MGS3 weren't necessarily planned out ahead of time and don't necessarily...
Okay, your Discord name. Alrighty, I'm gonna, sorry guys, see if it works. Alrighty. Oh, where is my Discord? There's the Discord. There we go. All right, I just sent you a friend request.
Make a whole lot of sense. In fact, that's kind of how I would have approached these Metal Gear remakes in general, is like there were always lots of weird like lore inconsistencies and like weird details about like these games, especially in Metal Gear Solid 1, going from like, considering how it's a reboot but the original games are still canon, you know, they're...
Well, Harmon, you have to understand that if we allowed you to sit here and dictate how a game should be made, do you realize how boring they would be? Because they would never change. They would be the same ones over and over again. They would be very easy because we know you don't like difficulty. And it would probably be nothing about, it would only be Princess Peach. Okay, I guarantee you that is the only type of game you will ever want to make. It has something to do with Peach. You would sit here and drive us all crazy on the games you want to make.
There was, I think, considering how long it's been since Metal Gear Solid 1's release, I really have to ask, why didn't they remake Metal Gear Solid 1 first? Why didn't they take that game, improve on it, and do new things with that instead of just doing this?
Harmon, I would agree that that's what they probably should have done. It doesn't hurt to add to it as long as you don't change the story. Look at Resident Evil 4 remake. I loved RE4. I love the remake also. I love that new battle that we got to do with that one, soldier guy. That was awesome. That wasn't in the original. But Harmon, you want them to sit here and change the story. You said it earlier in the video. You want to change the story so damn bad that it's not going to be a remake. It's not going to be what the original was.
Paper thin, transparent remastering of Metal Gear Solid 3. There are, as a fan, a lot of other things that I would have rather seen them do than this. I do think that the Metal Gear IP is kind of stagnant and hasn't really grown and evolved past Kojima's vision. I do think, in a sense, Kojima has been a major reason why this IP has stopped developing after Metal Gear Solid 3. Because
Well, Power Mad, he is on about Kojima. He just wants to bash Kojima. He just wants to bash Metal Gear Solid. What I think it is I think that, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I sent you the thing. So if you have a disagreement with Enthroned, you can call in right now. Just call me on Discord. Yeah, if anybody has any disagreements with me that they could, and I forgot what Harmon was talking about. Probably some BS. That's all he ever talks about.
Because after Metal Gear Solid 3 is when Kojima started taking more power at Konami, that he started becoming more influential, that Westerners knew his name, that he was like considered this big like game design guru, which really, if you look into it even a little bit, isn't exactly true.
All righty, I got someone calling in. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, actually, I don't have a disagreement with you. I actually agree with you. You know what? We're all going to have a fun little session because I'm going to educate y'all on why the Switch 2 sucks, in particular the panel, because I'm a calibrator panel guy, and I'm going to really educate y'all down to like the most like minute detail
All right.
as to why the LCD panel sucks. Okay, so buckle up, everyone. Y'all are going to get educated.
All right,
So-
quickly. I am not the smartest. Can you tell me what you're talking about the screen, correct?
Correct.
Okay, got you. I heard you say panel and I got confused for a second. Sorry, my bad. Continue.
Okay, so anyone who works for the ISF, that is the Image Science Foundation, they have to go through certification to basically know what they're talking about when it comes to calibrating panels, talking about panels or screens. I'm going to keep referencing panel because that's just the technical term.
Okay.
If a company or a website like Artings got a hold of this panel, Artings does like professional calibrations for computer panels, TV panels. They let you know which panels are good, which panels are bad. I am 100% sure that if they reviewed the Switch 2 panel, they'd probably give it something of like a 2 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. And I'm going to break this down as to why. LCD screens in general inherit a lot of problems that you cannot avoid. And this also depends on the quality of the panel. For instance, all LCD screens have a natural blur to them. It doesn't matter how much money you spend on an LCD screen. It doesn't matter if you spend over $1,000 to $2,000 on like a Samsung LED or even like a mini LED that tries to eliminate, bloom and blur as much as possible. There's an inherent nature to LEDs that just have a blur and it's bad. In particular with the Switch 2 screen, because I'm going to assume here that Nintendo cheapened out and chose the poorest LCD screen that you can get. That's why there's so much blur to it. An LCD screen, because I used to use them until I went to OLEDs and I never looked back. I've never seen an LCD screen that has that much blur. It's ridiculous, which tells me that even though Nintendo allegedly or supposedly partnered with Samsung and you think Samsung would give them a good panel, Nintendo must have went shopping for this thing and went, give me the shittiest, most inefficient LCD panel you can give me. And I get it that LCD panels, it's for like 120 hertz, whatever. And the reason why a lot of these PC handhelds have LCD panels over OLEDs, there is no OLED panel the size of the Switch screen that can achieve 120 hertz. Panels of that size don't exist yet for OLEDs. So that's why when a lot of these PC handheld gaming companies make these things, that's why they use LCD, because they know, well, if they want to hit these really high refresh rates, OLED panels are not yet to the point to where they can achieve those really high refresh rates. I think the Steam Deck OLED can only go up to like 90 hertz. But that's
Mhm.
why a lot of these companies will choose an LCD panel, but it also depends on the quality of it. LCDs in general have really bad gray uniformity issues. What that basically means is that any kind of colors that represent the grayscale, dark gray, light gray, medium gray, whatever, LCDs struggle with that and they can't display it properly. On top of that, you get really bad blooming. Um, from the videos that I've seen, the LCD screen on the Switch 2 has horrendous blooming. So if you're playing something like a horror game, like Chronos the New Dawn, I'd want to rip my eyes out because there's no dimming option. There's no dimming zones on the panel. The HDR is like false HDR, and what I mean by that is the bare minimum that HDR needs to be good is 800 nits, 800 to 900 nits, and I'm going to start calling out Nintendo Prime, Player Essence, Switch Force, beat 'em ups, all these Nintendo freaking stupid ass people. Y'all don't know what the fuck you're talking about when it comes to the Switch 2 display, and y'all are downplaying the display like it's not a big deal. You know what Nintendo should technically get sued for in this instance? Is for giving you a product that can't deliver on the HDR. You could technically probably sue them for it because it's false advertising. HDR is only good, like I said, when it gets to 800, 900 nits. And that's like the bare minimum you need of peak brightness for a panel to have good HDR. The reason why OLEDs are also better than LCDs at this is because OLEDs have infinite contrast ratios. That's what you need the most to also get the best out of HDR. Nintendo up here with their we got HDR. No, it's a 400 500 nit panel. Y'all suck a fucking dick. Player Essence, you're a mofo. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You suck up a fucking corporation. You suck corporate cock. Nintendo Prime, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You fucking want to sit here and fucking praise the Switch 2. It's like, the panel's not a big issue. No, this panel's a big issue. That's why I'm sticking with my Switch OLED, because even though the resolution may not be as good and it can't run the games at the higher frame rates, I'm a panel junkie. I'm really anal about this stuff. No, I don't care if Metroid Prime 4, can run at 120 frames per second on the Switch 2. It's going to have inherent issues because it's running on an LCD panel. Switch Force, you suck. You fucking suck this thing off to no fucking end. You got a stack of dimes for a neck. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Any of these Nintendo fanboys that want to sit here and gloat about the Switch 2, I want every Nintendo fanboy that's listening to this or listens to this later, go to the Image Science Foundation's website, look up people who are ISF certified, who know what they're supposed to be talking about when it comes to panels and how technology works in panels. I'm also going to drop some information here. If you want someone who's good at calibrations, look up a YouTube channel called Gaming Tech. He tells you exactly what you need the most to get the most out of HDR and what your panel needs to do. There used to be a YouTuber.
Hey, hold on.
Do what?
We just got asked a question. Does the DLSS do anything?
I'm not even talking about the DLSS. I'm just talking about the technology of the panel. Who gives a fuck
Okay.
about the DLSS?
Okay. I didn't know if it had anything to do with it. I don't know too much about the tech and the hardware, so that's why it was a question that someone asked.
No, it's all good. No, the DLSS just has to do with like the resolution, not like how the game is displayed through the panel technology in itself. That's something completely different. But what I'm trying to say here is that if anyone wants to see what a good panel actually is, or what it's supposed to be like, go to the Image Science Foundation's website. There's a shit ton of information you can look up, and there are standards already set to what HDR is supposed to be and how it's supposed to be displayed. Nintendo can sit here and say they got HDR. What's the equivalent? This is the same equivalent as like you go to Target or Walmart, right? And they got 4K TVs that are like $400, $500. And they say it does quote unquote HDR. Yeah, it does HDR, but it's a marketing ploy. the only way you're going to get good HDR out of a display, especially like on a TV or a monitor, because monitors are getting to the point of where they can do that really well too.
Mhm.
You're going to have to spend like $1,400-$1,500 on a TV to get good HDR and Dolby Vision on top of
Here,
that if you
hold
want
on.
Dolby Vision.
Hold on real quick. To that Davis guy, why are you talking about my brother? If you're talking about Harmon Smith, listen. If he's really your brother, then you need to be a better keeper. Maybe you need to keep a leash on him or put a muzzle on him. Maybe you need to teach him how to act right. Okay, there's no need to fight anybody. We're on the internet. When you put stuff on the internet, you open yourself up to critiques. If you don't like it, that someone's talking about your so-called brother, then you need to tell him, get off the internet. So that's okay. If you have a problem here, after I'm done talking to him, you can call in. There ain't no need to be a keyboard warrior. Sorry, man. Continue.
Harmon Smith is a freaking bloated freaking piece of shit. Anyway,
he is, but you got this person talking about my brother.
oh, speaking of Harmon Smith, have you seen the video where he says the F slur right out of the gate?
Oh yeah. Wait, are you talking about?
You've seen that one?
Are you talking about the one about the? You said the F slur about the. You're not talking about the cuss word, right? You're talking about the one about certain communities.
Yeah, the bundle of sticks.
Yep. Oh yeah. He's from what I've heard, he's dropped the N-word. He has sat here and talked bad about certain communities many times before. There's something wrong with this guy.
Yeah, I really didn't know about this dude until someone brought it to my attention, because me and my friend will like get on YouTube sometimes and just screw around or whatever.
Yep.
And he was like, dude, you gotta watch this video, dude. This guy is like out of his mind. I'm like, well, what the hell is it?
Oh, he is.
And he's talking about the Warhammer community. And like not within like 5 or 10 seconds of the video, he goes, Warhammer is for cucks and bundles of sticks. I was like, okay. Like what?
There's something wrong with this guy. But hey, I am gonna let you go just in case that one guy who wants to be a keyboard warrior wants to call in and disagree. And I got to get on with the live stream. But I'm glad that you called in, man. I really appreciated it.
I know y'all good, man. Take care.
You too, man. All right. If there's anybody, to that Davis guy, hey, Discord's open now. Let me know what your Discord name is, and I'll add you, and you can call in. If you have a problem with what I'm saying about your brother, Harmon Smith, come on, man. Don't be a coward now. I'll be more gentle with you than Daddy Bowser is. I promise you that one. All righty. So, to Dustin Nunn, Bunny and Bliss are not the same Powerpuff Girl. Okay, I get it. And then you said, on my YouTube channel, I give shout outs to my subscribers. I don't need channel members. Well, I got the membership. It's $1 a month. And if you want your name shouted out, if you are a member, you get shouted out at the end of each video. That's how I do it. To Power Man, what is he on about? He's on about the LCD screen. Does he actually know? He says he does. I don't know too much about it. I added you too. I got a question. Why are you? Oh, wait, I already read that. Yes, because they want you to buy an OLED in a few years. Oh, that is very true. What are your thoughts on the $750 PS5? I think it's absolutely ridiculous. You don't need to spend $750 damn dollars on a system. And yeah, you know what? When it comes to the tariffs play a small part in it, but you got to understand also, it's not like Sony's hurting for money here. They're selling that thing for a profit. They can eat the cost or eat some of the cost, and they would be fine. They're still making a killing on the software, for crying out loud. So they could probably give us the video game system for free, for crying out loud, or sell it at cost at least, and they probably would still make some money. So when it comes down to it, after all these years of them making money off on us, them ripping us off with the live service push that they were trying to do, you know what? It is not my problem that they lost money out on their live service push. They should not be jacking up $750 PS5 Pros to make up for it. So screw that. No. Like I said, there's no reason to fight. Oh, your brother is Player Essence? Oh, Davis, you know what? Like I said, if he's your brother, then maybe you should teach Player Essence how to act right, because sometimes his mouth gets a little bit too ahead of himself. Okay, I didn't know that Player Essence is your brother, but I believe after this Harmon Smith video, don't you worry. Next is Player Essence, so don't just stay tuned, man.
I think most video games, well, all video games are designed by entire teams of people, all of whom contribute their own talents and sensibilities. And weirdly enough, I think Kojima takes credit for a lot of the things other people do, especially when it comes to like the script and the story and the themes and stuff like that. You know, playing Metal Gear Solid 2 again, I was shocked by how all the memorable, interesting things that people remember about the game, you know, the good aspects that
Harmon, you yourself, even in the video, said that you haven't even played the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake. So how do you know if it's not even that good in the first place? You know, for the most of the part, I do agree. To know if the game's good, you need to play it. But there are certain circumstances where you don't actually have to play the game to know if it's good. But in this circumstance, how do you know the remake isn't any good if you've never played it? Oh, is it because it's not on your piece of plastic?
that stick with people and that people like, you know, point to as an example of how great Metal Gear Solid 2 actually is. A lot of those were made by the codec writer who was not Kojima. You know, like when you see the cinematics and you see how lazy and poorly written they are, and then compare them to like,
I'm tired of them. We're going to get to Player Essence since we did take that call, because we still got like another 12 minutes of this shit and I don't want to sit through it. There we go.
PS2 game. Like,
I know you're going to be all excited, Davis, aren't you? Oh, I know you're talking about Player Essence now.
Quality,
don't you worry.
That makes Metal Gear
exactly. Glazer Essence. Let's get that one correct, Davis. It's Glazer Essence. Oh, don't you worry. Here, you see right now. Up next, we got Player Essence.
When the Switch 2 specs were unveiled, people were complaining, why doesn't it have an OLED screen? Why doesn't it have more RAM? They can see now. Yeah, I mean, which we already knew that was the case. Let's see here. We already knew that was the case, man. Like, we knew that. I knew, but you got called names. If you said that, you got called names. You got called bootlicker. You got called.
No. You didn't get called those names because you were pointing out something about PC or pointing out something. No. You got called those names because you defended Nintendo's terrible price points. And don't worry, we all know why you sat here and defended them. It had nothing to do with that you believed in it or not. You built a channel when it came to surrounding it around Nintendo. So you have to hype up Nintendo stuff. You can't be negative towards Nintendo or you're going to lose out. You put yourself in that situation. But don't worry, Player Essence, I ain't mad at you for it. I respect the hustle, man. Go get them views. Go secure that bag. You put yourself in a situation where integrity doesn't pay the bills. That is on you.
All these names, but this is apparently worth it, right? And really what it comes down to is this, guys. It's nothing about the price or anything like that. It really isn't. It's just because people like PC. They glorify, bend over, and think that PC is the greatest thing ever. So they don't.
PC is pretty good. I mean, it does have some drawbacks. There are times where I enjoy playing on a console over a PC, but I still do enjoy my I don't have an actual PC. I got a laptop. I'm sorry, Davis. He put himself out on the internet. He calls us out. Do you understand, Davis, that I went 2 weeks without making this type of content? Okay, many of us were switching more to like news type stuff, but then he calls us out. You do understand that he brings it upon himself. You as a, how am I, Davis? You can call in, okay? Give me your Discord. I will add you, and then you can call in if you have a problem with what I'm saying, man. Come on, don't be scared now.
Want to talk about the price. That's really what it comes down to. It comes down to Gabe is my daddy. Gaben's my daddy, and he's the greatest thing ever. And whatever he does, it's okay because PC is emulation, because I can steal things, because I can
Oh, is that what this is about? Are you mad that you have to pay full price while people on PC can play emulation when they get real deals when it comes to games, not those fake sales that Nintendo gives you?
I can do this, I can do that, I can do all this crap that I don't have time to do. I don't have time to play a bazillion games, but I'm gonna just sit there, go online and show people that I have a bazillion games, even though I don't have the actual time.
Davis, listen, I don't have to know player essence. I don't have to know him on a personal level. I have consumed so much of his content that I know who he is. I know what he likes to say. It's not my fault that you have a brother who wants to be disingenuous. I got proof. I have videos up to prove that his ass is disingenuous. If he's your brother, then you need to be a better keeper.
Because there's only 24 hours in a day. I gotta work 8 hours out of the day. I gotta sleep another 6 to 7 hours out of the day. And I gotta do other things. I gotta take care of kids. I gotta take care of family. I gotta do this and that and blah, blah, blah. I gotta play new games. And they just do it just because. It's nothing to do with the actual price or the content. It's simply because they think PC's the greatest thing since sliced.
Okay, there's one thing that you're loved to complain about when it comes to PC is about the price. And I think you're talking about that new Rogue Ally at $1,500. I don't recall anybody running around defending that $1,500 price point. But there is one thing that you are forgetting when it comes to a PC handheld, the PC part. It is still a PC. Do you understand that? OJ, it is still a PC. You can do stuff that you can't do with a console. A console is for gaming. The PC gaming thing, it is for gaming and PC stuff. So of course it's going to cost more. Okay, my laptop costs $1,000. I'm not spending $1,500 on a Rogue Ally. My laptop will do more than what that Rogue Ally will do.
It's bread, and that's all it is. It was a false lie from the very beginning. It was a cop out. It was a clickbait. It was a
Okay, it was not a false lie. What you're doing is being disingenuous. Okay, like I've said before, that Rogue Ally that I believe you're talking about, because I remember the stream, you sat here and are complaining about the price, saying, why doesn't everybody else complain about the price, but they want to complain about Nintendo? The Switch 2 is only a gaming. That is it. It's not a PC. The Rogue Ally or the Steam Deck, those are PCs. That's something you don't understand. Yes, they can be used for gaming. Do I want to fight, Davis? There's no need to fight. If you have a problem with what I say, then guess what? My Discord is open. Give me your Discord name and you can call in. Stop being a keyboard warrior. Nintendo's trash storm now. Yes, it is Nintendo's trash storm now.
Rage bait slop tuber. I'm gonna make as much money off of this as possible. That's really
OJ, with that sloppy ass hairline that you got no room to talk about anybody being a slop YouTuber doing slop content, okay?
all it was. It had nothing to do with it really had nothing to do with the actual price. The whole price increase stuff with the Switch 1.
It did have something to do with the price. PCs are different, but there's one thing. Where is all these people defending the $1,500 price point? I just literally said, I just found out when I watched your stream that the damn Rogue Ally is going up to $1,500. Because guess what? I don't care about the Rogue Ally. If I'm going to buy like a handheld PC thing, it's going to be a Steam Deck. It ain't going to be no Rogue Ally. I've never heard good things about that damn thing in the first place.
And even with some of these other.
Oh, am I, Davis? Well, guess what? Would you like me to go get you a wham burger and a French cry? You can keep crying. I don't care. Get mad. I'm not changing my content because you get mad. Boo-hoo.
Other systems, remember, when PlayStation and Xbox did it, the same people had really little to no problem at all, or said, oh, well, they make up a bunch of excuses. That's really what it comes down to. And we've been exposing this over and over.
You haven't been exposing. The only thing you got exposed is that big ass forehead and that hairline of yours. You have no idea what you're even talking about. This is unfortunate. When YouTube allows someone to get over 100,000 subscribers like you, and you are literally not qualified to even be speaking about PC right now. And then to Dustin Dunn, the NES all the way to the Switch 1 blows the Switch 2 out of the water because the NES all the way to the Switch 1 had games on the physical cartridge and CDs. Very true. Even though I will say Nintendo's games are physically on the cartridge, but that is the bare minimum. Console is being irrelevant. I mean, as long as console can stay cheaper and have physical games compared to the PC, I think we will always still have consoles. Okay, you have for it. I think you forgot to add a word in there, Davis. Like I said, give me your Discord name and you can sit here and call me. Don't be afraid now. Or you can continue being a keyboard warrior. Go for it. Steam Deck OLED is king. Steam plus Game Pass, cloud gaming, I'm good. There you go, man.
Over. And the people who do this tell you this, but I mean, you get called the names if you point it out, if you bring it up. The thing about it, it's about...
Okay. You're not going to win nothing, Davis. I don't care if you're a lawyer. Do you think that means anything? I'm not doing anything illegal. What am I doing that's illegal in the first place?
Honesty here. This platform is open. And once again, it is open to these people that were going crazy about Switch 2 and the price. You are free to come and talk about this Lenovo Legion Go 2 and the price and why you're not mad or not. Once again, you are free to come on here. The people that were going crazy.
Well, I clearly remember the last challenge that you threw out there, Player Essence. You do understand that you challenged someone to a debate and then realized when you couldn't manipulate the topics that he wanted to debate on, you tucked tail and ran. You literally called him a clout chaser, called him all a bunch of names, and then banned him from your damn channel. So why would anybody be willing to even come and debate you? You've shown you have no integrity. You'll agree to it and run away. Like I said, Davis, I don't care. There are many people who are lawyers. What is that supposed to mean? I'm not, if you want to sue me, I guess sue me. There's nothing I'm doing that's illegal.
But you are free. I have challenged. They have all backed down. They don't want to get caught in gotchas.
I mean, the way that you backed down from DBZ Nation, did you not want to get caught in a gotcha?
Because they're liars. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to get caught in gotchas because they're liars. They rather just gaslight their...
Okay, if anybody's gaslighting, it's you that loves to gaslight their audience. Okay, I'll admit, you don't really lie, but one thing you love to do is you love to take facts and take the context out of the facts.
Audience 24/7 and put out slop over and over. That's half-truths, lies, deception. When the reality is what I've been saying. The reality is it's expensive as heck to have these hybrid systems. The $450 price point was actually good for the...
Outside of Japan getting one for a third cheaper, I would agree it's not a bad price. But of course, you love how your own people get screwed over, have to overpay compared to another country. I notice you never stand up for that reason.
The Switch 2, considering what it can do, the DLSS, the technology inside there, for what you're getting for a budget price. At this point, it's a budget price.
No, at this point, it's not a budget price. Just because they chose not to raise up the damn price of the Switch 2 does not make it a budget price. Okay, now you're just being disingenuous again.
You know, compared to all these new ones that are coming out, it's budget price compared to these. What you're getting for the price is good. I got called shill. I got called names. I'm inviting all those people to come.
You got called shill and you got called a fanboy because you sat here, hyped up games that were overpriced, offended Nintendo, refused to speak out, and on top of it, now I don't blame you for running with that fake leak. If I did news type stuff like you, I probably would have sat here and done it too. But guess what? I would have apologized for running with it. I would have apologized for not doing my job correctly. And I wouldn't have defended Woods for doing that. I would have blasted him for doing that. For the amount of damage that you and the other people who ran with it and Woods caused to the community, that is ridiculous. That's why you get called a shill. That's why you get called a bootlicker or a fanboy. Not because you're pointing out the price of the PC stuff. Trust me, we all know that PC stuff isn't cheap. That is nothing new.
Come through and talk to me now at this point. I'm inviting all of them. Feel free. because it's $1,500 for this super powerful thing, which you're expecting the performance of an Xbox and PlayStation.
Okay, for one, no one is that I know of. Okay, I'm not gonna say no one because I don't want people like, oh, this person is saying it. No one that I know of is defending a $1,500 system. I have never heard a single, because what you're talking about is us. You're talking about the Salt community that was criticizing Nintendo for the prices. Okay, but you want to know what? None of us were sitting here. None of us are saying that, oh, go out and buy this. Every time I hear someone in the Salt community recommend a handheld PC, it is a Steam Deck. I've never heard them once say, go get the Rogue Ally. So now you're making it seem like, oh, that we're all okay with this. No, we're not. Okay, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I'm not. If someone wants to spend $1,500, that's their own prerogative. But if they sit here and try to hype it up and, and everything, then yeah, I'll point them out that he's lost. All right, let's read some comments. Nintendrons like to personate lots of things. Yes, they do. OJ's a fanboy from Nintendo, point blank. Mind you, Nintendo is already price hiked old Switch ones. Now later on Switch 2 price is going up in online service, which is BS. Yes, that is completely true. My God, Nintendo fanboys are playing victim a lot. This man always loves to play victim. He literally will sit here and be like, oh, well, people are calling me names. This guy, he always tries to play victim. That is nothing new. I'm not even trying to say that's a Nintendo fanboy thing. This is specifically a player essence thing. He loves to sit here and claim victim.
Right out of Switch 2. So this is what you want. You want performance up to there? Cough up $1,100 to $1,500 to play something that you might not even play all the time. Okay. Sure. Leo, with the
How do you know that they're not going to play it all the time? I would not recommend to go buy a $1,500 handheld PC. I don't think you have to. I think you can sit here and buy one for about $500 and get your money's worth. That's going to do it's going to do fine. Who out here is suggesting people to go buy a $1,500 fucking system here? Can someone please tell me who is doing this?
The $499 says raise the price. Yeah, where's the drop the price? Oh, but once again, to them, it's worth it. It was never about.
Who is saying it's worth it just because they're not saying, oh, drop the price? We all know that a lot of people are not going to buy those. Those are luxury products. Guess what? Nintendo isn't luxury. Nintendo is budget. That's one thing you're forgetting to tell them.
About the price being too high. To them, PC is the greatest thing ever. That's really what it's about. It's just about PC being the greatest thing ever to them. They can do no wrong or do little no wrong. Valve is the greatest thing ever. That's all it's about. It had nothing to do with actual value for your dollar.
I will sit here and say, we're talking about Steam. I do prefer Steam over the eShop. Just saying. All right, Switch 2 didn't release enough games to play on day one, especially first party. Oh, that's facts right there. Fucking going on with this planet. Yep. Can I move to another galaxy? Can you take me with you? Sega should get to work on Sega Dreamcast 2. I miss Sega. I miss Sega too. I honestly do. I am excited for the new Sonic game also.
It's just that they don't like it. They don't like Nintendo. So therefore, they can do double standards and they.
It has nothing to do with not liking Nintendo. You do understand, whether you like Nintendo or you don't like Nintendo, you are allowed to criticize Nintendo regardless. If they don't like Nintendo and they complain about the price, guess what? That does not take away what they're saying is true. It doesn't matter if they like Nintendo or not. That's what you don't understand.
They can make up all this.
eShop is bad, but I will say, on the Switch 2, the eShop is phenomenally better. I will actually have to say that. It is a lot faster.
Stuff for clickbait. That's what it always was about. And once again, I challenge any of these dudes that did that, come through and talk. Why are you guys done?
Clickbait, huh? Are you talking about when you sat here and ran with that leak about Woods? You have no room to talk. And why would anybody even come to debate you? You challenged someone to a debate, and then when you realized you couldn't stand on your own, you ran away and hid. So why would anybody want to sit here and debate you, Player Essence?
Ducking the smoke. Because everything that I've said beforehand, I was right about. The sales
Oh, so am I, Power Mad. It's like, really? I didn't really believe that he was his brother in the first place. And it's like, even if he was a lawyer, what am I? I'm not doing anything illegal here. You know, you're allowed to call people names. It's called freedom of speech, for crying out loud.
Sales of the Switch 2, I was right about. The sales of the Switch 2 beating out every single PC handheld very quickly.
That's not a hard thing to accomplish. Anybody with an IQ above room temperature, their Glazer Essence, was going to know that the Switch 2 was going to sell more than the handheld PCs. Because when you look them up, they didn't sit here and sell an extreme amount. We all knew that was going to happen. Are you kidding me? Was there literally somebody that thought that a new console handheld was not going to sell more than the other PC handhelds? Because we've heard some negative stuff about the ROG Allies. When the Steam Deck came out, in the beginning, there was a lot of negativity. I heard that it got a lot better, but it's still not perfect.
I was right about. The thing about the Switch 2 being able to actually punch above its weight with DLSS and other things for the price that it's going at.
Really? With the Madden, is it punching above its weight? How about WWE when they cut out the community creator tab? Did they sit here and punch above their weight with that? How about Elden Ring? Is that punching above its weight? Or even Star Wars Outlaws, 30 frames per second. I love how you're okay with a $450 system, paying premium prices. You're okay with 30 frames per second. Continue on.
I was right about. Star Wars Outlaws just dropped. I was right about that. I was right about every.
What were you right about exactly? You're claiming that this game is actually really good. The funny thing is, nobody was saying before it came to the Switch 2 how amazing that game was. Nobody was excited for it. I understand that you are starving for third-party support so bad that you are so excited over mediocrity games.
Pretty much every single thing. But you have these people that will lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. And if I'm wrong,
no, you don't technically lie. You're just disingenuous. You sit here and take facts out of the take context out of the facts. You use facts without context. That's exactly what you love to do. You are very disingenuous. And then you refuse to hold people accountable. Literally. You sat here and damaged the community along with Woods, along with Nintendo Prime, Switchforce, and everybody else that ran with that fake leak. And then you didn't even apologize for it. And then when people called you out for Woods, you damage control for Woods. So you're full of shit. I'm still, oh yeah, I already read that one. Mario is not a friend of mine anymore. I understand. I mean, the fat plumber is not my friend. Oh, I completely agree. The hedgehog beats the fat plumber. I mean, he's always beating the fat plumber. Lose weight plumber. Switch 2 is just a step above the OLED. I was expecting more than what they delivered. Oh, so was I.
I will tell you that I'm wrong. A lot of these people will not correct themselves when they're wrong.
What are you talking about? Many of us have. Okay, I'm not going to say everybody has, but I've corrected myself. Hey, I firmly was one of the people that said that Star Wars Outlaws was going to look like crap. And it looked a lot better than what I thought it was going to be. I firmly admitted that. But where are the videos of you apologizing to the community for how you damaged it? Where are the videos for you calling out? See, I think it's funny you love to call us out, but you never want to call out your homies. It's okay. Like I said, I ain't mad at it. Go get those views. Go secure that bag. We all know integrity ain't going to pay your bills. We get it. You didn't build a channel around integrity.
Look at this 8-bit Eric guy. I mean, he was wrong on Star Wars Outlaws, and he's sitting there acting all crazy in the comment section and on Twitter about it when he was wrong. Because they can't take a L. Because they rather grift and they rather do stuff like
you do. You grifted on Wood's name. You sat here, ran with that leak because you were cloud chasing. And if anybody else is grifting, you just started doing news type stuff like about a year ago. Before that, you weren't doing news. You were doing RPG, top 10, top 20. Then you realize how easier and quicker it is to pump out that news content, and you were making money on it. You saw how well it was doing for Nintendo Prime, and you decided to sit here and just copy off of him. So you grifted on him. You are nothing more than a bootleg version of Nintendo Prime. Outlaws is not the game I would use as a play. Exactly. Now, I don't think that I haven't played it, but it doesn't look like a bad game, but it doesn't look like an amazing game. And I've said this before. If I'm going to play as a woman, I want her to be attractive. I don't want to stare at an average looking woman. Okay. And when it came to that game, they should have made it either Han Solo or they should have made an attractive woman. You want to know what? If they wanted a woman, who they should have picked was that one woman from that Han Solo movie, Han Solo's First Love. That's who they should have picked for it. That would have been better than this. They should have used Emily Clark, or they could have made someone look similar to Emily Clark. That's what they should have done. Go find another princess. He got the princess. Man, hey, he got Princess Force. I sent you screenshots and message on Discord about player essence, price, don't matter comments. All right, let's take a look. Hold on. Oh, it's not showing his comments or anything. Oh, look who's back. We got good old Davis back. Kimmy. I don't know who the hell you're talking about, Kimmy, but whatever. Like I said, no one cares. You just need to calm yourself there, Davis. Like I said, Davis, is Kimmy your actual channel? Is Kimmy your Discord name? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
That instead of being honest and truthful with the audience. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can't take an L on it.
Why can't you be honest and truthful when it came to Woods from Beat 'em Ups? Why did you put Woods over your own community? I understand, man. Like I keep saying, go get them views, man. You don't need no integrity. Integrity don't work for you.
They can't take an L. They rather just sit there and troll for views. And it's just kind of weird. And once again, lie to their audience. And it's almost like it's not even that it's lying. It's just stuff that's just so poorly researched that it becomes a lie. Because
you mean like how you researched about the leak from Woods? Or how you researched how to run and hide like a coward? Is that what you mean?
Because you're too lazy. A lot of these guys, they're too lazy to actually research anything. Oh, well, you don't even get all of Star Wars Outlaws on the cart. Bro,
Davis, I told you, give me your Discord name and we can have, but you know what? Actually, I don't want to have a talk with you because you're claiming to sue me. So why would I want to talk to you, my guy? So no, I think we're good.
Single version of Star Wars Outlaws is a game key card. The physical version on PS5 has like 40 gigs on there. And then like you got to download the rest or something like that. Like every single version of Star Wars Outlaws is that. Oh, well, the price is too high for it. With 60, it's cheaper on other platforms, bro. If you want the gold edition on PS5 or Xbox Series, it's the same price. You can
Actually, you know what? Hey, for the gold edition with all the DLC, I don't think 60 is too bad. Now, if you wait a few months, it's going to be half the price anyways.
get it on Amazon for $55, or you can get it on PS5 for $67 if you want it physical. If you want a physical copy, or if you want to buy it digitally, you got to buy the DLC with it, so it's going to run you.
Oh, is that what he? Oh, so that's why he keeps bringing up 8-Bit Eric. I don't even know who 8-Bit Eric or 8-Bit Eric is. I mean, there are many people that talk about him, but like I've said before, Player Essence, he loves to claim that he doesn't watch our videos, but he does. He does sit here and watch them, and he loves to do it. Woods expose all the Nintendo fanboys. Yes, he did. I watched the debate. Okay, which debate? I've been quite a few debates. Are you talking about the debate that I did with Player Essence? All right, I have to go. Good day, ABS. Good day, man. Thank you for coming on in.
You about $50 to $60 for the game, because the gold edition comes with the deal.
Davis, you literally just said you were a lawyer and that you were going to sue me. Now you're all switching it up. What do you have about the debate? What do you want to know about the debate that I had? I'm not like him. I don't run away and hide. The debate's up. It's on my channel also.
DLC on the Switch too. So it's like people just out here just poorly researching and lying for views, for easy, quick, sloppy views.
Yeah, just like you made that sloppy ass video when it came to the fake direct.
And that's what I've said the whole time. That's what I've said about these people the whole time, bro. Let's see here. Complain about key cards, but the 1500 console is digital only. That's what I'm saying. It was a fake. It was fake from the very beginning.
No, it wasn't, because you're being disingenuous about it. That Rogue Ally, even though it's 1500, and yes, that sounds pretty overpriced to me, it's not just a gaming device. It's also a PC.
Same, like I said, PC people who are PC handheld people complaining about game key cards. Bro, there is no option on PC handhelds. It's just digital only. Oh, well, you get different storefronts. Okay.
Okay, most PC people don't care if it's only digital only, because the PCs are already digital only.
Great. It's a freaking PC, dude. It's not a dedicated console. It's a PC. That's what it is. And
Exactly. There you go. That's why it's so much more expensive. PCs cost more because you can do more. There's more software, more other stuff. How can you compare that to a damn Nintendo Switch 2, for crying out loud?
that's really what it comes down to. It's not about being fair or being balanced or being, what I'm saying, objective. It's really not. It's about pushing their own narrative. That's really what it's about. This is confirmed at this point, because I want to see drop the price. I'm gonna make a video about it.
Good. Make the video. I need more content to react to for the salty morning. Please make that video already. Why don't you stop flapping that mouth and actually do it? Because you know how many times you claim, oh, I'm going to make a video, and then you never do? Go out and make it.
And I'm gonna give them a little bit of time. We're gonna need to see drop the price, right? Why is this $1,500? By the way, is it because of the power?
Dude, I keep telling you, where are we defending it? You love to sit here and say this. Where are we defending it? The reason why that the Switch 2 got so much hate that you love to call, got so much, we're like, oh, well, you need to sit here and drop the price over and over again. You want to know why? Because you fanboys were defending it nonstop.
The system, I mean, I don't know. Do you get PS5 Pro level power? Because that was the comparisons with the Switch 2, right?
No, you don't get PS5 level Pro power. But would you like to know what you're going to get? You get to do other stuff. You get Photoshop. You get many other things on there that you do not get with a damn Switch 2. The thing with PC handheld is that lets you travel with your games like Stellar Blade and other games. Very true. But you also get to do more than what you can. So of course it's going to cost more. Now, I wouldn't, if someone's going to get a PC handheld, I don't know about you, I'm not going to recommend a $1,500 Rogue Ally, would you? That sounds like it's too damn much.
The Switch 2 is, it's $450, but I'm not getting Xbox Series S power. Xbox Series is cheaper. Okay, so does this get you PS5 Pro power?
With the Switch 2, can you do as much as a PC? Please explain. Yeah, the price drop will if they can't sell. Very true. There's going to be some people that buy it, but, the Rogue Ally has never sold an extreme amount in the first place.
Because the PS5 Pro is $750. I don't think this Lenovo Legion Go gets you PS5 Pro power. I don't think it does. I don't think so.
Most likely it doesn't, but what does it give you? Oh, it gives you what you can do on a PC. Do you understand this? Are you that much of a damn simpleton? Nintendo had experience with the GameCube disc as well as the Wii and the Wii U disc, but they chose the cartridges for both the Switch 1 and Switch 2. I'm looking at the Switch 1 price at my local pawn shop to get one. What's ABS and everyone? I'm assuming you meant what's up, ABS and everyone. Oh, it's doing good, man. The thing was, they should never have went with those cartridges. They could have went with the PSP. Everybody is sitting here complaining, or he's complaining, and many others like, oh, well, if you went with discs, you would have to sit here and transfer them. Who cares? You're already putting it on the hardware anyways. Most Nintendo fanboys talk out of their asses. Oh, very true. You are not lying there. They like free stuff Nintendo sends them and the free games. They also get stuff to try and talk about to sell to their audience. It's all a grift. Oh, I completely agree. If you go watch his videos, he literally has Switch 2 links as like a commission type thing, affiliate links on his videos, for crying out loud. That's how you know you can't trust somebody that sit here and talks about Nintendo, especially when they won't even say anything negative.
I don't think so, Billy. I don't think it gets you PS5 Pro power.
I don't think the Switch 2 gets you compatibility stuff where you can do stuff on a PC for crying out loud. I said PS. That was my bad.
Okay, I don't think it's going to be able to run things as good as PS5 Pro, but it's way more expensive, right? It's almost double. It's for the highest model.
And does anybody care? Who's all running out and buying this?
For your information, the gold edition on PSN is $109. Well, there you go. If you want the gold edition, it's $109. The physical edition is cheaper, $67. So I was even cutting it a break. I think you can dock the Lenovo Legion Go too. Yeah, you can dock it. So, like,
I was correct. He was talking about the Legion. My guy, like I keep, oh no, I said the wrong alley. He's talking about the whatever he just said, the Legion Go. People are not running out in space buying that for crying out loud. You know that is a premium product. The Switch 2 isn't a premium product.
Like I've been saying, man, it was a cop out from the beginning. So let's see here.
You mean when you copped out when it came to Woods? Because trust me, I've seen people in your live stream. I even sat here and said something to you on X when it came to that. When I reposted one of your thing when you said about grifting, it's like, why didn't you sit here and call out Woods? You grifted and clout chased on his name. Like I said, all you do is run away and hide. No, the PS5 Pro was $700 until they raised the price. The problem with the PS5 Pro, it will almost cost $1,000 plus when the taxes and warranty. That's just ridiculous.
Switch 2 is so base that rage baiters and haters use the Switch 2's name to get clicks because it's so popular. They also use Switch 2 as a bar to compare against. LOL, ironic. I know. That's what I'm.
Just like how you use Wood's name to clout chase, then it backfired and you ran away and hid. We're not using the Switch 2's name to get views and everything. Like, of course, I make videos to get views. We all sit here on YouTube do that. We all want to make money, but it doesn't change the fact what we're saying is true. I understand you want to continue to use these deflection tactics. Player Essence does that every Saturday on Spawnwave. Oh, sorry. Oh, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much, Warren. Hey, ABS, does all this constructive criticism towards Nintendo straight up mean they don't make great games anymore? I know you mean well. No, they make excellent games. I can never talk enough about Fast Fusion. I love Fast Fusion. I have very high hopes for Metro Prime 4. Even the Kirby game. Okay, I just did a review on the Kirby and I thought the game was actually excellent. The problem is that they're just too expensive. Even with that Kirby game, for $80 for that Switch 2 game, I just don't think it's enough. Even Donkey Kong Bonanza, there are so many people that looked at my review and went away thinking that I hated Donkey Kong Bonanza. That could not be further from the truth. I actually loved Donkey Kong Bonanza. I loved that story in that game. That game was so much fun. The problem was it just was too overpriced. But thank you so much for the super chat, man. That is the biggest super chat I've ever received. I so appreciate you. Now, let me go back to Byron Morse. Player Essence does that every Saturday on Spawnwave podcast, but they can't keep the same energy when Sony failed to something pro-consumer, but glaze PS Plus over Game Pass. That's true. I will sit here and say Game Pass is a far better thing. I love Game Pass. Hate the Xbox app, but I still enjoy the value of what Game Pass brings.
I'm saying, and I said that beforehand. I said, listen, guys, this is going to be a long generation because PC is so boring. It's such a boring platform that you got to talk about something else.
It's not boring, but when you sit here and look at the people that love PC and you look at the people who love Nintendo, hey, I will firmly agree that it is going to be a very long generation. I will agree with you on that one. But when it comes to Nintendo, I will give the Nintendo fanboys one thing. You can say a lot of stuff about them. You can say they're bootlickers. You can say they're cowards. One thing you cannot say is they're boring. Now, the Nintendo fanboys are so entertaining. Even Harmon Smith, even though most of the stuff he says he is full of shit on, I still find Harmon Smith very entertaining. When you go look at the Sony ponies, Reforged Gaming, he is boring as fuck. The PC is a boring platform. Is this guy drunk or high? Probably both. It would not surprise me. He does live in California after all.
It's such a I don't really gotta make any videos about PC. I don't gotta make a bunch of videos about Steam Deck. I don't gotta grift off a Steam Deck, or I don't gotta grift off a PC.
No, you just have to grift off a Nintendo. You got to grift off of your fellow YouTubers. You had to grift and cloud chase off of Woods.
I don't have to do any of that. You know why? Because there's no point. I can talk about what I actually like. You know what I'm saying?
No, you just got to whine and complain about us. You were grifting and cloud chasing off of Nintendo. The thing is, you guys are always complaining that we were making content about you. And then for about 2 weeks, the Salt content actually dried up. You guys really weren't acting like fanboys like you usually do. So we went and making more news type videos. And then you guys started going up in arms and we weren't even making videos about you. And you started clout chasing on our names.
And PC's boring as hell. So it's like, I can talk about what I actually like, and it's
my guy, your videos are boring as hell. Your live streams, on the other hand, are entertaining. But we all know why everybody comes to watch your live stream. It has nothing to do with you talking about gaming. We just want to see you freak out and have a meltdown on stream. That's it.
It's boring. It's so boring to them. They can't just simply talk about PC. They got to talk about Nintendo. They got to act like they're some type of consumer advocate or something like that.
No, that's not true. The reason why they don't really talk about PC as much, actually, no, I take it back. They talk about PC all the damn time. Do you know how many times I've watched Salt content creators that are huge PC people? I don't think they can go a video without mentioning why PC is better. So you have no idea what you're talking about.
That when they're not, it's just PC's just boring as hell, and they barely play. They play PCs like a console gamer.
Your videos are boring. Maybe that's why you're not getting as many views as Primey.
They play with the Xbox controller, but then claim PC to have some type of weird online weirdo fan base. These people.
And I'm pretty certain that you play with a controller instead of playing with those Joy-Cons when it comes to the Switch. So are you really a Nintendo person then?
Are weirdos, bro. Complete weirdos. They're console gamers that just so happen to try to pick some allegiance to get online clout points to make money. That's really what.
I think that's what you did. Because for the longest time, all you were doing was RPG stuff. Realize how much easier it was so you can clout chase onto Nintendo's name.
What it comes down to, bro. That's really what it comes down to, because they just play with controllers. They don't even play with mouse and keyboard like that. They play with controllers. They're just.
You don't have to play. Am I wrong? To play on PC, to be a PC person, do you really have to play with mouse and keyboard? I know that with certain games, it is a lot better. I've always been more of a controller person, but I've never really tried to learn the whole mouse and keyboard thing. How is it boring with thousands of games with creativity, innovation, storytelling, and lore telling? That's why we have games like Power World and others. Exactly. The guy's just talking out his ass. All he wants to do is console war. He wants to make it seem like his piece of plastic is better. That's all it is. I agree with you. Nintendo game accessories can be quite expensive. Trust me. I spent $2,000. Come on, man. You're better than that. PC has some of the best strategy games and builders. Exactly.
Console gamers that buy PC. You know?
Drop the price. Drop the price. Drop the price.
Where's drop the
now
price?
Time to spam that at every Legion Go and PC handheld streams.
Yeah.
People enjoy doing that.
Where is the following that is defending the Legion Go? Can you please show us?
With Nintendo Law.
Drop the price,
Hello,
right?
Jay. Hope your day has been good. Glad it's the weekend.
Yeah, glad it's the weekend too for me as well, man. Yeah, drop the price, right? Drop the price. Why aren't we dropping the price, man? Why are we not dropping the price, bro? Why are we not dropping the price?
Why are you not fixing that hairline? You know, you have over 100,000 subscribers. You should have enough money by now. But you know what? You did have to sell your Steam Deck to afford a Switch 2. Maybe you should manage your money better. You could have afforded a Switch 2 without selling something, and you could probably fix that hairline of yours.
When piracy is a selling point, you've lost the point. That's the whole thing. True, all they talk about is that's what I'm saying. Like, for me, like I said, I only bring it up when I see double standard or when I see hypocrisy.
No, you only bring it up when you know it's going to get your ass views. You don't care what it is. All this time, you're always saying, hey, buy what you want, play what you want. Now, all of a sudden, you're complaining about it because you want to stay relevant. That's all it is.
That's the only time I bring it up. outside of that, on my videos and all that, do I bring it up? Do I hate? Do I do anything? No. I could bring up a bunch of things. Honestly, I really could. Look, I made one video with some criticism, and look at how some of them responded. Look at that. Look at how some of them responded. I don't respond to every single video. Look at how some of these people responded with one video saying that I'm selling it. And I even said good things.
There was no point in doing that video. You claim all the time you are a news facts-based channel. What, that was not breaking news, you selling a damn Steam Deck. Nobody would have really cared. I haven't watched the video, but I'm assuming you must have criticized that Steam Deck. And who cares? 1,000 views or 1,000 comments, that's a good thing. You want to know why? Because it pushes your video out there. So what are you complaining about?
1,000 comments, right? So
okay, we are finally done with Player Essence. Next, we are going to do Nintendo Prime's podcast called the Nintendo Byte Podcast. And Sandstorm, if you're watching this, I'm ashamed of you, just so you know. Just for a quick second, but I'll give you a pass because you're cool. Primey, on the other hand, I ain't giving you a pass. Let's read off some of the comments. The comments on Spawn Wave are going in after Dreamcast Guy, which is why they don't bring him on the podcast. Well, you know what? The thing with Dreamcast Guy, even though I actually do find him actually entertaining, I can actually handle his content, but you can tell that he does not play those games fully. You can tell his reviews are fake. There is no doubt about it. You can tell he's very disingenuous when he sits there and gives his content, so I can see why. Player Essence said he have gaming PC, but choose to play on PlayStation or Switch 2, but downgrade PC. Yeah, he does. You know what? I play on this. I play on my PS5 and I play on my Switch too. I've actually thought about getting rid of my PS5 because I haven't been really playing that much on it lately, and I can get a pretty penny for it. But I will sit here and say, PC, it's not technically for everybody because there is a learning curve. When I first started playing on my laptop, I was getting ready to smash my head into a wall because I could not understand it. To Steve Ramey, no. Okay, you're going to have to more elaborate. You can play with controller on PC, but I prefer mouse and keyboard. On PC, strategy and builders are better. That way, RPG and games like Zelda and Spider-Man are better with controller. Well, I tend to play more RPGs anyway, so I guess that's why. To Dave C. I disassembled my gamer room a few years ago because of people like this. I keep in totes now and only take out some stuff at a time. I completely understand. Good to have you come through, Dave. So yeah, we're going to sit here and see. This video is going to show how badly Primey loves the console.
I've never played the original
war.
Final Fantasy VII out of principle.
Oh, please tell me, what is this principle that you so badly didn't want to play Final Fantasy VII? With shame on you. Anybody that loves RPGs, JRPGs, it is literally a commandment. It is one of the commandments of gamers. You must play that game.
Wasn't on Nintendo.
Who cares if it was on Nintendo or not? Maybe Nintendo should have made better choices.
Hold on. You've never played it?
Yeah, I've never played the original.
Thank you, Thunderstash. Please talk some sense into this damn man. He is your brethren. You know what? Thunderstash, I know that you only look like you're 30, but I know that you're older than Primey. You need to raise this man better. You need to teach him better.
I was petty.
That's fair.
You're always petty.
I never played the original either. Same reason.
Sandstorm, I'm so disappointed in you. Come on, man. You know better than that. You need to go play that game now.
Petty as fuck. And I shouldn't have been.
Oh, Dave, you could not be so much wrong. Final Fantasy VII is horrible? Wait. Are you saying horrible or did you misspell?
Because at the time I grew up Nintendo only. And then as I became a teenager, got into Xbox and PlayStation and stuff. But
okay, I can understand that at the time you were still a child. You had that child mindset. Guess what? You are an adult now. It is time to let go of that child mindset.
Thing was, PS1, stuff, you're taking my shit away.
But they didn't take your shit away. Nintendo ran them off. They drove them away. That was Nintendo's fault, not PlayStation. You can't blame PlayStation because they created a platform that was better and made it easier for the third parties and made it cheaper for them. That's Nintendo's fault.
Yes, dude, you're taking my shit away. Taking all my third party games. I was pissed. Fuck you.
No, fuck Nintendo. They didn't take away your third party games. Nintendo drove them away.
Out of principle, Square, I ain't buying Final Fantasy VII. And you didn't put 7 on PC at the time either. I was willing to get it on PC. You didn't put it there. You were saying I have to buy a PlayStation to play this game.
Well, that's how it was back then. Guess what? I'm pretty certain you can get that game everywhere. I'm pretty certain you can get that game on your phone now. All right, I got a bunch of comments. It started the main baby trend. I don't like it. I like FF9. I like FF9 too, but FF7, that's magical. The good ones are 6 and below. I've never played 6 and below. Steam Deck is okay to buy. I agree. I don't have one, never played one, but I will agree with you.
Game. So I didn't play it on principle. Obviously, since then, guys, we all know it's been ported. It's on Switch.
There you go. It's actually better because you get a lot of the mods that were made for it.
Still didn't do it. It's out of principle. I'm just not.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with you having a childlike mindset. This is all about console warring. I bet if they would have sat here, oh yes, Eric did walk out. Good job, Eric. Even Eric Moore, the Spice King, has more sense than you do, Primey. You should be ashamed of yourself, but you call yourself a gamer. This is all this is console warring. Because they didn't put it on your favorite piece of plastic, which it is now. Just because, my guy, you must hate PlayStation that much. I know you've had an Xbox. Maybe this is why. Oh, I'd walk out too.
And it sucks because I know everything that happens by now, right, guys? It's been how many years? I know the story. I've seen all the cutscenes. I know it's an incredible Final Fantasy game. I'm not stupid. There's a reason people consider it one of the.
I mean, you kind of are, Primey. You literally refuse to play that amazing of a game. You don't need to listen to Dave C. I understand Final Fantasy VII isn't your thing, but it is for many people. But you chose not to play it at a principle over something that's stupid and ridiculous.
The best games ever made. I'm not dumb. I know this. I know I'm being very, very petty, and I have no reason to be at my old age anymore. But that's why I was so excited about Final Fantasy VII.
Thank you, Thunderstash. You're like, no, good job. Eric, you walked out. Sandstorm, you're literally the only one paying attention. You can literally look at Thunderstash, and he's so badly trying not to pay attention to him.
Remake. But then I beat Remake, and I realized, fuck, it's not a remake.
I know, that's a reimagine. So let me get this straight. You were willing to play Remake, but you didn't want to play the original. Make that make sense.
It's not actually a remake. And I know this because I saw the ending of the original Final Fantasy VII, and I know this isn't the ending of the game. It's literally.
Well, do you remember the ending clearly? Because you couldn't even remember the ending to Ocarina of Time.
Literally not a remake. They kind of pulled a fast one on it, and I don't want to spoil it because people are going to play this on Switch too for the first time. I don't really want to spoil. Like, you're going to find out at the end of Final Fantasy VII Remake that it's not actually a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Okay, I wouldn't even say that's a spoiler right there because it's pretty much well known by then that it's not really a remake. So that's nothing new.
It is Final Fantasy VII, but it's something that happens that I don't really want to ruin it for you guys because it's a really big part of the game. But the point is that, like, I was kind of mad because I'm like, shit.
Kind of. You're still mad. What are you talking about?
I still haven't played the original. I'm still not getting the OG experience because.
Go buy it. You can literally get it on the Switch too. You can get it in the pack with Final Fantasy VIII. Go play it already. All right, let's catch up on some comments. I'd walk out. Oh, so would I. I have FF7 on PC though. Oh, you have it, but you haven't played it. I'm telling you, man, you need to go play it. I didn't get into FF7, but I did get into Final Fantasy VIII, which opened my eyes for RPG, JRPG, like Sony IP Legends of Dragoon. That is the greatest JRPG of all time. Legends of Dragoon is freaking phenomenal. And FF1 to FF6 are where on Nintendo DS as well as Game Boy Advance. Very true. It has incredible cutscenes. Yes, it does. Listen to that cope. Exactly. Is it me? Or is that ridiculous? Oh, I didn't play it because it wasn't on my platform. He took away my third party. Big swords and big hair. Very true. I'm not FF fan, but if this happens to be a game I'd like, I just buy it on PC. I'm telling you, man, if you haven't played it, it is a game worth playing. That story is phenomenal.
This isn't actually a remake. And I thought I was just gonna play it, and I thought they were milking it for 3 games. I'm like, oh, the original was all 1 game. They're milking this for a
Well, that's probably why that the second one hasn't sold that much, because people actually thought it was going to be a remake and they pulled a fast one on us.
3-parter and charging a lot of money. Then you get to the end of it and you realize, oh shit, it's not even a fucking remake. So no wonder there's 3 parts to this. All right. Well, and I played Rebirth as well. I haven't finished Rebirth yet. Now probably won't now. I'll probably wait and because I have a feeling it's coming to Switch 2 next year. That said, game was incredible. I really love it. I think I'm not the only Nintendo fan that's never played Final Fantasy VII. I think there's a lot out there that are gonna just say, screw it, I'll buy this one, and they're gonna end up loving it.
Well, there's probably a lot of people, you know what, I can understand if you've only ever had one console. The first time I ever played Final Fantasy VII, it was hard to get through it. You know, I couldn't even finish it because of how outdated the graphics were. Because the first time I ever played it was on the PS3, and I couldn't even get into it because the graphics were terrible. But then everybody kept telling me, no, just push through it. And once you start playing it, once that story gets you hooked in, you got to finish it.
The biggest thing I can say about this game and Rebirth is I expect Rebirth to be much of the same. I think it's gonna be a pretty smooth experience. These games are better than any modern Final Fantasy.
That's good. That's good.
16, 15.
100%.
That's true. No, you know, the problem with Final Fantasy 16 was they had way too many cutscenes when it came to the gameplay. Still was a good game. Final Fantasy 15, good game. Story wasn't bad. The problem was no one cared about playing as a boy band. That's literally what you got. No one cared about the characters. And then you got the take I get from Final Fantasy Remake for the Switch 2 is the price with the tax. That's a red flag I got when the Switch 2 was launched. Oh, true. Dragoon is cool. Yep. I like Vagrant Story 2. I don't think I've ever played that one. He's not gonna finish Rebirth. Why? Especially if there's more detail from Rebirth. All very true. I will tell you this. To finish Rebirth, that was a chore. How long that damn game is, how much level padding they threw into that was ridiculous.
These games are just better. Better storytelling, better writing, better character growth, better combat. It's all just better.
Agreed, but you also have to understand Final Fantasy VII has been involved in pop culture for so damn long. It literally had a movie after it. Oh, we got Blast in the chat. How's Blast? FF16 was good. Action game, a bad FF game. I agree. The one thing I did not like was all those damn cutscenes. That, you know, I'm in the middle of playing Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta Snake Eater remake, and I'm having a hard time getting through that game because of all the cutscenes also. It was a bad ripoff of that Red Hot Chili Pepper scar tissue video from Californication.
And it's even great on Switch 2, guys. I don't think you're going to see too many complaints about anyone who buys this on Switch 2. Like, this is the one game coming out of PAX that like, almost no one had any complaints about, unless you're just one of those FPS snobs that says anything that's not 60 is unplayable. Fine.
It's not exactly unplayable, but at a certain price point, you have to expect at least 60 FPS. I don't think we really need any higher than that because I don't know about you guys. I can't tell the difference between 120 and 60. I don't know how to tell the difference.
Fine. You're right. Don't buy it then. You probably already own. If anything that's not 60 or above is unplayable to you, then you must be a high-end PC gamer because you. Did you see the way Delta's running on PS5? There ain't no 60.
No, but guess what? Final Fantasy Remake and Rebirth was running at 60 on PS5.
60. Ain't no 60 there.
That's because of the developers. That's not because of the hardware, though, Primey. With the reason why Final Fantasy VII Integrated is going to be capped at 30 on the Switch 2 is because the hardware can't handle it at 60. Same thing with Star Wars Outlaws. It is showing the limitations of your piece of plastic already. It's a PS4 game from 5 years ago. It better run on the Exactly.
There's lots of games on PS5 and PS5.
Now, I don't know about you, Blast. I did love Final Fantasy Remake, but I'm not double dipping. I've already played it. I have no want to replay it again.
Pro that aren't hitting 60. So the only way you're going to get that is to be a high-end PC gamer. So I got no problem if that's what you guys are. I love gaming on high-end PCs. It's great. I'm just saying that, like, let's be realistic here. Okay. There are games not hitting 60 on PS5. So maybe we shouldn't.
But that's not because of the hardware. That's because of the developer. With the Switch 2, it's not the same. The Switch 2, it can't hit 60 because of the hardware.
Expect high-end AAA games to be hitting 60.
Well, when they're selling you a console at 450, yes, it is perfectly reasonable to sit here and expect 60 FPS. Also, you were championing how Hollow Knight Silksong was at 120 FPS, but now you're like, oh, 30 FPS is fine. You got to make it make sense. You can't get excited over one hitting 120 and then being like, and then downgrading the other ones when it doesn't hit 60. You got to pick a struggle already.
On Switch 2. I'm just.
Unless they come from Nintendo themselves.
Well, yeah, Nintendo, obviously. That's like, or if they're made for the platform first.
Mm-hmm.
Like if we get like
I know, Eric. That was very hard to sit through. You had to get up and walk away. Welcome back, man. I'm sorry you got to put up with this.
a Monster Hunter game that releases first on Switch 2, I expect that to run pretty smooth. That's probably built for Switch 2. Then they'll bring it to everywhere else.
Yeah.
Like with Rise. Like with Rise. Yeah, Final Fantasy VII. It's great. I don't think anyone who picks it up is going to be disappointed on Switch 2.
Good, because I was planning on getting it.
Yeah. That one's like, it runs really well, like perfect, and it's also just a great fucking game.
Hey, if you guys want to get on Switch 2, I'm not going to bash anybody for it. I'm not going to do it because I've already played it. I have no want to double dip again. I still have it on the PS5.
Yeah.
Or PS4.
I can't recommend it enough on PlayStation, and now the same goes for Nintendo Switch 2.
Okay, but you need to recommend him to go play the original Final Fantasy VII. You need to literally force Priming to go play it, Thunderstash. That is your role of this podcast. You are supposed to be like the wise man here.
Amazing. One of my favorites. One of my goats for sure. Definitely my favorite Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
And then, there's a lot. There's a lot. So Silk Song, it comes out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how busy we've been. Like I know it's coming out.
I haven't bought Silk Song yet. I'm going to get through the first Hollow Knight, and then if I like it, I will sit here and get Silk Song. Is anybody here playing Silk Song and excited for it?
I can't play it tomorrow. I have tons of videos to do over the next week. However, I did get to play it docked and handheld. Silky smooth. Again, I went into the menu, turned on the 120 FPS. Again, I don't know how it worked with the TV because the TV would need to be 120 hertz. I don't know if it is.
Mm.
But I was able to toggle it on, so maybe it was. And same goes for handheld. The game is beautiful. It looks.
All right, let's catch up on some of the. I bet it is beautiful there, Thundersash. I'll take your word on it. Even though you sat here and talked about how Drag X Drive was a good, game, so I still question your reviews now. All righty, I would need to see full gameplay from the Switch 2 because with issues from Outlaws and Elden Ring that I've seen, they look laggy or other problems. Oh, very true. When he was doing DoorDash and hardly making it, he would be bitching about the prices. Oh, I bet he would have. There is an old debate he did with OJ. Believe it or not, he used to be very pro-consumer. But the problem was he found his niche. He rode on the train of Nintendo, and now he can't sit here and criticize them because he'll lose that money. Hello, MR. That's hilarious. Switch 2 has Outlaws. Exactly. Sonic. Yep. I like Sonic. Dave C. Yeah, it was announced during the Switch 2 Direct. Yes, it was. Oh, man. Dumpster fire. Blast. PS5, games that don't hit 60 are unoptimized messes that don't run well on anything. On Switch 2, if a game doesn't run well, most of the time it's optimized for the hardware. Very true. Silksong is awesome. Silksong is amazing. I will take your guys' word on it. I got to get through the first one first. Nope, not for me. I understand. I'm a Hollow Knight series guy. Too many Metroidvanias now. Oh, yeah, I'm just starting to get into them. I tried it and not for me. I understand. It's like the FPS rush of the 3 Go era, Xbox 360. Okay.
So good on Switch too. It just, it's right. Like it's very, very, very beautiful. The lighting effects, awesome. Particle effects. Gameplay is great. Obviously, can't wait to play it. Except I'm gonna have to wait to play it.
Yeah, because of what the game is, guys. I this is just my personal opinion. I don't know this for a fact because I've only played it on Switch 2. I actually don't think there's going to be any difference between the Switch 2 version and the PlayStation 5 Pro version.
Okay, well, that's it for him. If they're still talking about Silk Song, I don't know about you, Blast, but I look at Silk Song and I think that it's probably going to be the exact same version, whether it's the PS5 one or a Switch 2. I don't see the versions really being that different. But that's the end of Primey. Now we are going to get on with Doc Trey. I haven't done a Doc Trey video in a while, and I needed some content, so this is what we're going to get. Let's get on with Doc Trey. I hope everybody's having a great day.
All right, so I feel like this is becoming a thing, and this is getting kind of silly at this point.
Doc Trey, can you please optimize your thing better?
We know what's been happening with the backlash that Digital Foundry has been having regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. Some of the assumptions that they made about the Switch 2, they ended up being wrong.
And what were we wrong about? I mean, come on, can you get on with it already? We ain't got all damn day. It's basically the same version on all consoles. Yeah, the game looks phenomenally amazing, but, I'm not going to say it's a demanding game. So I don't know why anybody would think because the way Priming was going on about was like people were saying, oh, it's going to not be as good on the Switch 2. I mean, the game looks like it's going to be able to play just fine on the Switch 2. So I don't see why anybody would think that.
How they repeatedly still try to say, Switch 2 is PS4 level experience.
Well, in some cases, when you look at Hogwarts Legacy, the PS4 version looks better. When you look at Elden Ring, the PS4 version looks better. With Star Wars Outlaws, it didn't come out on PS4. So in some circumstances, it does look like it is better.
Even though they're getting massive backlash, trust me.
Only from you fanboys.
They're getting a lot of backlash on this. But for some reason, they're still keeping it up. And it's kind of strange to me. So, like I'm showing you here before, they had before, is a 1080p too much for Switch 2?
Yeah. I mean, do you understand, Doc Trey, that they literally have to downgrade these games down to 30 FPS just to get it to run well? With a $450 system, them putting games at $60, $70, that's ridiculous.
And then now today is Star Wars Outlaws too big for Switch 2? Isn't even out yet.
Well, technically it is because it's capped at 30. So why wouldn't it be?
And they're telling you that, this game may be too big for Switch 2 based on literally like 6 seconds of footage from an unfinished game.
Well, maybe they should have polished that 6 seconds up. I'm assuming it's not that hard to polish up 6 seconds here.
That they've told you. They've literally told you this game won't even come out until September.
And it's completely irrelevant. Doc Trey, you do understand that this was Ubisoft's fault for not putting their best foot forward. Okay, if you're talking about Digital Foundry, they were going off of what information they had at the time.
So what are we doing here? Why are we saying what will and won't run on a system that isn't out?
Because it's not like you guys are going to be honest. And Doc Trey, I understand that you love Nintendo, but do we have to look at a Mario all the time? Can you switch it up? There are far better characters in the Mario universe than Mario. Mario's a little overrated. You know, put a Yoshi up. Yoshi is way better.
On a game that isn't finished, based on 5 to 6 seconds of footage of a game that is in the launch game. It's not coming out for 5 months. Like, what are we doing here? And then even trying to guess based on the pixel count or the resolution.
Yes. How do you think they do it? Like, I'm not a tech person, so I don't know how to determine all this stuff, but they were obviously able to determine it. Guess what? Maybe Ubisoft should have done better, for crying out loud. Why is Ice Cube's face randomly on there? Probably because he wants to clout chase. He's trying to get to 20,000 subscribers. Plus, Outlaws probably had early access like it did on the PS5, Xbox. Yeah, exactly. My God, the game runs at 720 docked because they focus on stupid ray tracing rather than focusing on performance and resolution. Agreed. That is why, Blast, you are the tech person and I am not. Funny that some are claiming Silk Song is too cheap and priced because it left a good impression compared to AAA titles. Oh yeah, that's very funny. I love how, you know, all those fanboys are running around saying, oh, well, we can't do that, which I will admit, bringing every game out at $20, that's not the most realistic thing to be able to do. But you got Expedition 33. You could do $50 at least. Kirby is better than Mario. Kirby can transform. Mario can only jump. You know what? Kirby is cute, Power Mad, but I'm going to have to sit here and give Mario tends to have a better story. I just got to say that one.
How are you pixel counting the resolution on this? It's not even the full screen.
Why do you put evil Mario faces on your timelines or thumbnails? I don't always do it. The one today, it's not an evil Mario. It's a happy Mario. But I put a greedy Mario when Nintendo is being greedy. That's why I got to do it.
Green. It's just some it's just some footage that they mapped onto a fake Switch 2 in the middle of the screen and you're pixel counting that.
It most likely was not a fake Switch 2 footage. Most likely that was probably the actual optimized port for that game at that time on what they had.
It's like, talk about not learning your lesson and not reading the room.
Star Wars Outlaws was.
I mean, it's not like you guys didn't learn your lesson when it came to Woods from Beat 'em Ups.
So the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to change game development.
Oh, just so you guys know, I think he included Digital Foundries thing. I cut it out because there's no need. We're not going to go over that.
Forever. And so we've known for the last few years that the next Nintendo Switch system, the Nintendo Switch 2, was going to utilize a version of DLSS, thanks in part to yours truly. And
okay, why didn't they utilize that for Elden Ring? Hey, Blast, you're smarter than I am. Is DLSS a good thing or not?
We know that the Switch 2 is going to be able to punch way above its weight due to this feature.
Didn't do that for Elden Ring. And it's not doing enough to get it up to 60 FPS. 60 FPS is the bare minimum now.
But what a lot of people don't realize is just how much the Switch 2 is about to change the game. Like,
you are completely correct. It's going to change a lot of things. It's going to force things to get more expensive. And no one thought that was ever going to be Nintendo.
Game development on consoles will never be the same after the Nintendo Switch 2.
Exactly. You want to know why? Because we're going to have $100 games after that because of Nintendo.
Now, DLSS exists on the PC. PSSR, which is a DLSS-like feature, is on the new PlayStation 5 Pro.
Okay, can you at least explain? A lot of us don't understand these terms here. Yeah, make your videos a little more entertaining if you would at least explain some stuff.
But for the first time, games will actually be developed around DLSS with DLSS in mind from the
Well, Helix Nebula. The PS5 can handle 60 FPS. So can the Xbox. Switch 2, on the other hand, cannot handle it. DLSS used in moderation and not as a tool for actual optimization is a good thing. It allows games to run better at higher resolutions by upscaling from a lower resolution to desired resolution. Good. Then I agree with you. Nintendo can't even do VR. They are way behind. Well, when it comes to VR, it's not like VR is really making bangers over here. I don't really think anybody's focusing on VR at the moment.
ground up, customized for console. And that has never happened before. Imagine a system that's up to 10 times more powerful than the Switch, 12 gigs of freaking RAM, and a highly customized version of DLSS specifically for the system, and the games are designed and created to take complete advantage of DLSS.
Congratulations. They made this all for the third party. When is it time that Nintendo releases a first party game that actually showcases, hey, this is Switch 2. Hey, this is next gen.
For the first time. This will be the first time that games are being developed strictly around DLSS.
Well, I mean, Madden says differently. So does Elden Ring from all the rumors we're getting about that one. What about Demon, that mech game that just released or is about to release? How come they didn't utilize that crap?
These games are going to look incredible. I don't think you guys are ready.
This is coming from the guy who is overhyping Star Wars Outlaws, even though before you were saying, oh no, we should never do game key cards, and you were overhyping that Drag X drive. So your opinion doesn't mean anything. Okay, good. We are done with Doctor, and for the very last one, guess who we got? We got Blast's favorite person. We got Harmon
Recently,
Smith.
I have had the pleasure of finishing Mario Kart World, kind of. By that, I mean I got triple stars on all the Grand Prix Cups and all the Knockout Tour Cups.
Congratulations. Would you like a brownie button? Only if you had a chest to put it on. I don't think anybody really cares that you got, that you beat all those damn Grand Prix and all those damn knockout tours. My guess, DLSS is being used in games from the ground up. That's the problem. Devs are using upscaling as a way to skip optimization and not have to optimize for systems leading to lower quality ports. That is probably true. That sounds true.
Obviously, I still have quite a lot of things to do. I still have to be...
Okay, we are going to speed up his because it's like a 20-minute damn thing. So if it's too fast, let me know, because Harmon Smith does talk very slow.
All the Ghost and Time Trial, and then I want to go ahead and do all of the challenge modes in free roam. There is still quite a lot of things to do.
Are you talking about the P switches? Harmon, you can't even call it the right damn thing. It's literally called the P switches. No one knows them as challenge modes. You want to know why there's no challenge to them?
In Mario Kart World, I'm only about 50 hours in. I have not put as much time into the game as most people, but I do really need...
What do you mean most people? Most people aren't putting no 50 damn hours into that game. Are you kidding me?
...to come out and say this at this stage, having played so much Mario Kart World as I have. This game is 100%
It's probably because you don't really have any games to play right now. That's why, Harmon.
better than Mario Kart 8.
That is such a lie. Do not disrespect Mario Kart 8, sir.
This is a stellar launch title for Nintendo Switch 2.
It is not. It is an overpriced, polished piece of slop. That is all it is. Lower quality images and lower performance. Jesus, I heard all the ponies say the same thing about PSSR, and look at what happened with that. Facts. Oh no, that Mario Kart World. Oh yes. Trust me, this is Harmon Smith, the king of cope.
A system seller, and a fantastic game all around. Now, it's unfortunate
If they would have lowered the price, it would have been. If they would have actually made the open world fun, then it would have been. Or they should have just cut out open world altogether.
that I have to make a video straight up saying this, but
This has been one of the most wildly disrespected and hated Nintendo games in recent memory. And I suppose
You say that about almost every damn game that comes out. You complain how people bash Princess Peach Showtime. You complain how people bash Mario and Luigi Brothership. And I guarantee you're going to say it when the new Pokemon game comes out, Harmon. This ain't nothing new.
after what happened with Mario Kart 7 and 8, this has become a trend because I remember what it was like when Mario Kart Wii came out and everyone tried to say it was some disaster and some huge disappointment, only for it to become the one of
The Wii U was a failure and disappointment, Harmon. You need to accept this.
the best-selling games ever. You know,
Not on the Wii U. It was because of the Switch, Harmon.
it was embarrassing to see so many people speak out against Mario Kart Wii, and that trend has not changed over the years.
Oh, you're talking about Mario Kart Wii. I played Mario Kart Wii. I don't understand the hate behind it. I actually enjoyed it.
I can remember when Polygon released that article claiming that Mario Kart 8 was going to be one of the worst-selling games in the series, and it's laughable looking back on it now.
Well, if it would have stayed on the Wii U and they didn't port it over to the Switch, it most likely would have, Harmon.
But at this stage, you can see a lot of that same sentiment being carried over to World.
Harmon, the problem with World is, just like Blast said, if they let me play without the intermissions, maybe it would be better than a 6, or better than 6. But no, I can't play the game the way I played for the last 15 years. Exactly. No one wants those damn highway tracks, Harmon. Only you do.
In essence, there is an observable trend among the gaming industry to refuse to acknowledge Mario Kart as being one of the biggest games in the industry.
What are you talking about, Harmon? You know how beloved Mario Kart is? It's this new one, Mario Kart World. The reason why, the $80 price tag. This is how much of a fanboy you are. You, like, Bless, I don't know if you know this, but he literally bought just the Switch 2 without the bundle and then bought the digital version of the game because he wanted to make sure that Nintendo got the full $80 for the game and not $50. That's how much of a fanboy he is.
This series is bigger than Grand Theft Auto. This series is...
No, it's not. Grand Theft Auto has sold higher. What are you talking? Let me double check again, because I'm pretty positive that the Grand Theft Auto series has sold more. Mario Kart series units sold. Harmon, are you kidding me? It's only sold 196 million, which ain't nothing to laugh at. But Grand Theft Auto 5 has outsold the whole thing of Mario Kart. You have no idea what you're talking about. It's the biggest. Harmon, you're full of shit. You know what? You're lucky I don't have the sound bite of horror or horror hellfire, or I would say show some fucking facts, Harmon.
Is highly lucrative and evergreen. This game was a huge monument.
You mean evergreen to rip off your wallet? What did they drop for? They haven't done nothing. They literally abandoned it. World will get popular when it becomes affordable. Facts. Well, it would become popular when they fix the game, make it better, take away the intermission tracks, and give us more content. That's how it would make it better. Big problem with World is they're trying too hard to push the intermissions and open world, which is hurting the other parts. Exactly. No one asked for it to be open world. No one wants the intermissions. I say this and I stand by it. Mario Kart World is nowhere near as good as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's the straight facts.
Mental success that sold Switch 2s right out of the gate, and even
what other game was there to buy for Switch 2 right out of the gate, Harmon? You do understand that they sold out. Okay, so you do understand that at launch, everything sold out. The majority of the units were the damn Mario Kart World bundle. So that means that most of the units they made were the Mario Kart World bundles. If you did not get that bundle, if everyone wanted just the Switch 2 bundle, guess what? You weren't going to get one. You would have had to have gotten one. The majority of the ones at launch were the Mario Kart World bundles.
Even 3 months later, after its monumental success, you still have a significant chunk of the online gaming population in denial about it. You can find people saying that the online is dead, which is not true. You can find...
Yes, it is.
people saying that the game can be beaten in 3 hours, which is not true.
That is facts, Harmon.
You can find people saying this is the worst Mario Kart ever produced, which
That is very true.
is not true. The insane delusional copes about this game absolutely need to stop. Mario Kart has consistently been one of Nintendo's highest performing franchises. It sells.
Yes, before Mario Kart World, most likely Mario Kart World is going to continue to sell. As long as they continue to bundle it, then it's probably going to sell. But of course, Harmon, we got fanboys like you that are always overhyping these mediocrity games.
Tens of millions of units every single time it's released, and yet every time it is, we go through this same song and dance. This idea that Mario Kart is on the verge of failure and a
I do not recall at all during the Switch 1 people saying that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a failure. Never once heard that, Harmon. Can you please show some fucking facts? You know what? Now I understand why Hellfire loves to say that so much. It's actually kind of fun saying it.
relevancy. This idea that nobody's going to want to.
Dave, he's mad because you talk bad about his favorite piece of plastic. That's all it is. This man, he is a straight up fanboy. I do not believe for a second that he is being a troll of any kind. This man, I think he is a full-fledged fanboy in the wild.
To play the new iteration of Mario Kart because, I don't even know why, because I've never even heard a good explanation. We're seeing that with.
You've heard a plenty good explanation. The problem is, it's either you have a listening problem or a comprehension problem.
Mario Kart World in particular. People making claims about the track design, right? People making claims about the open world. People making claims about,
The open world was a terrible idea. There's a reason why you don't see a lot of arcade racers do open worlds. Okay. If you're going to do an open world, you actually have to connect it. You can literally play the game without doing the open world. That's how bad it is. You have no idea what you're even talking about, Harmon.
the online play. Well, do the actual players care is kind of my feeling on it. And seeing how many people I know who have put over 100 hours into this game already, if not more than that, I have a very hard
Harmon, just because you hand the controller over to that Pikachu plushie doesn't mean that that thing has played over 100 hours.
time believing that people were in any way put off by the game, its price tag, or the system it was on.
The $80 price tag did put a lot of people off, Harmon.
We were told, assured, when this game was coming out, that it was going to be this unmitigated disaster because of the $80 price tag.
Oh, I was one of them, and I was actually wrong. I was hoping people were going to boycott the game, but you know what? Sometimes you're wrong. It just shows how bad the fanboyism goes. Harmon is becoming Woods. Harmon wishes he was Woods. Are you kidding me? Isn't calling him a fanboy insulting the fanboys? He's far worse. Oh, probably. Who? Give me names. Exactly, Blast. We all know he's talking about that Pikachu plushie.
And yet, everything we've seen seems to indicate that this game has been selling very, very well, that it's very, very successful, and
well, of course, it's bundled together. I really hope when they stop bundling it, it's not going to sell well. I am going to hold out and hope that most gamers are smart enough to not spend $80 on Mario Kart World. But we are talking about Nintendo fans after all.
You can clearly see, considering like the state of the eShop chart and the Famitsu.
Harmon, oh my God, the eShop chart doesn't mean anything. Do you understand? Sales data means something. Okay, go back and look at the Sega Dreamcast. We all know that that was a failure. We know that the games didn't really sell. Guess what? They had a chart in the Sega office saying what the top 10 games were selling. Do you not understand that?
Sales charts and just, your friends list on Switch 2 even. You can see that over the past 3 months, this game has...
Harmon, just because you create multiple accounts and add them as your friends doesn't mean anything.
Continue to be a monumental success story. And still, we are in that awkward position where people just don't want to admit it. Because
Harmon, we don't need to hear about the positions with you and Daddy Nintendo. Can you please leave that out?
That would be an inconvenient admission that Nintendo has won this console generation. And that is something that
What are you talking about? If anything, the generation just started. You have no idea what you're talking about again. Please, Harmon, use some fucking facts. I'm really starting to sound like Hellfire now. They use costume swaps as padding too much. Very true. I don't mind the costumes. I thought the costumes were actually kind of cool. But no, the game, it's not worth it. I'm not talking about your video, the one you're talking about. His graphics suck. Oh, yes, they do. It's because of his camera. The Android Apple versions of Mario Kart does better with selection by far. Well, yeah, it's because of all the microtransactions. What do you expect? If success was the main factor in determining whether a game is good or not, Call of Duty, Madden, FIFA, and 2K would be the best games ever made. Exactly. I sometimes play Call of Duty, but I'm not a huge fan. Madden, I haven't played a Madden game in like 10 years. FIFA, I don't think I've ever played a FIFA. And 2K, yeah, they can kiss my ass.
They were unwilling to acknowledge even in the Switch era. You know, people may be pretending to be nostalgic for the Switch era now, but back then, a lot of the same people were freaking out about games on that platform. You know, anybody who was around in 2017 knows.
The only game I recall people freaking out about was Tears of the Kingdom because they raised it to $70.
Just how many people were crying about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And, oh, that's right, yes. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was wildly hated.
Okay, I do not remember anybody complaining about Breath of the Wild. What are you talking about, Harmon? Are you talking about the price? Who's complaining about a $60 game? I can see Tears of the Kingdom. In Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, you literally got Mario Kart 8 with all the DLC bundled together for $60. That was a good price. What are you talking about?
When it first came out as well, because a lot of people were expecting a brand new Mario Kart, even back in 2017.
Well, of course they were. Why do you think that game was selling so damn much? They went that long without a new Mario Kart game.
In essence, because of the series' enduring success, because of its popularity, because of how obviously well it does, people who hate Nintendo absolutely need to downplay this franchise.
Harmon, the only reason why this game sold as well as it did was because they sat here, saturated the market with Switch 2 bundle units. If they would have made far more just Switch 2 units that were not bundled, then the game wouldn't have sold as much. You do understand that, Harmon.
Whenever it comes out with a new iteration, you know, just like they had to do with 2D Mario, just like they had to do with Animal Crossing, just like they had to do with Zelda, pretty much everything that comes out that gets any traction whatsoever needs to be damage controlled by the general gaming population.
What are you talking about, Harmon? If anybody's doing damage controlling, it's you. You're the one that throws a fit when any game does successful that's not on your favorite piece of plastic. Look at Expedition 33. Look at Grand Theft Auto. Look at how many Baldur's Gate 3. Elden Ring, you nonstop complain. You even got Cyberpunk 2077 on your piece of plastic and you still complain about it.
Who is desperate to maintain the illusion that Nintendo is some perpetually failing brand. And I do think that is.
If they don't knock their shit off, they may get to that point one day. Remember, there were many fanboys like you saying that the Sega was never going to fail. You do remember that, don't you?
The primary reason this game has not been discussed as much as it should have, because this is clearly something that outperformed Expedition 33. This is something that was easily bigger than like Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, of course, Expedition 33 wasn't bundled together. Now, you don't even know if this game is going to outperform Expedition 33. What are you even talking about? Expedition 33 is a far superior game in any way over this game, Harmon. You can't even compare the damn two. You got the characters free pretty fast. Oh, really? Oh, I thought you had to pay for them. It's like a lottery thing. Oh, okay. We complained about the tiers price. Exactly. You know, this game has problems when people had to go on Discord servers to get the 3-lap race consistently. Exactly. Harmon Smith thinks Silk Song is disappointing. He thinks everything is disappointing. That's a threat to Nintendo. Are you kidding me?
Or Elden Dingaling, or Silk Song, or whatever else slop people are getting excited for. Like, this is a game that's going to be bigger than all of that, likely combined, for the next, like, several years or so. This is.
I really hope not, but as long as they keep bundling it in and giving that false illusion of a deal, then of course it's going to sell.
Is going to be a game that people are playing for years, you know, a genuine Game of the Year contender, this huge milestone in gaming, and yet like a lot of huge milestones in gaming, such as last year's Mario and Luigi Brothership, one of the best RPGs ever made.
The sales say otherwise on it, Harmon. There are far more RPG games that have sold more. I'm pretty certain Mario RPG. Let me check this. I'm pretty certain Mario RPG has sold more, or Paper Mario. Paper Mario is an RPG game. I'm pretty certain that has sold more. Let's take a look. Mario RPG units sold. Let's take a look, shall we? Yes, Mario RPG outsold Mario and Luigi Brothership. So let's look at Paper Mario. Paper Mario units sold. Exact. Okay. Well, that's okay. Yeah. Origami King sold more. What are you talking about, Harmon? You're an idiot.
It is downright getting ignored by the community. And since good games are getting ignored,
The only thing that's getting ignored around here is your hygiene.
and bad games are getting propped up in their place, we do need to acknowledge that the masses cannot be taken seriously when it comes to what is good and what isn't. That is,
Harmon, you literally hyped up Drag X Drive. Your opinion cannot be taken seriously. Brothership was terrible. The story was so bad I quit. That's what I keep hearing.
the major takeaway, I think, about this entire ordeal. The entire situation about last year and the Mario and Luigi Brothership situation. You know, the year before that and the Tears of the Kingdom situation. You know, the year before that and the Pokemon Legends Arceus situation. You know, every single year we see a number of 10 out of 10 games get utterly dismissed.
Harmon, you have no idea what a 10 out of 10 game is. I don't think I've even given any game a 10 out of 10. The closest game I ever have, and when I rate games, I base them on genres and price points, but the closest one was Astrobot, and I gave that a 9.5 out of 10. That game is literally the greatest 3D platformer of all time. A remake did better than Brothership. Harmon, the game is a diet RPG for people that don't know what an RPG is. Facts.
For petty, lazy reasons. So essentially what this all boils down to is that Mario Kart World is one of the best games, if not the best game of the year, and
That is a lie. It's not even going to be in the conversation of Game of the Year, Harmon. You might have a chance with DK Bonanza, but this game will definitely not be. Right now, what I think the contenders are going to be for Game of the Year is Expedition 33, Hollow Knight Silk Song. I think the Split Fiction is going to be up there, Ghost of Yote, and DK Bonanza. That's what I think the contenders are going to be. And who I think is going to win it is Expedition 33. Maybe Silk Song might win it.
the general gaming population will never, ever, ever admit it. This is a game that's going to outgrow pretty much everything else that's coming out this year. It's going to maintain its relevancy for years after release.
Okay, Harmon. Games don't win Game of the Year because of the units they sold. If that was the case, Astrobot wouldn't have won in the first place.
This is going to be a very active online game for years to come, and yet we're seriously
Well, of course, because you could play online with only NPCs. Of course it's going to be actively online.
expected to believe that this game is some unmitigated disaster and has killed the Switch 2 before it even came out. Obviously, this is ridiculous, and it really does need to be called.
I'd give Chrono Trigger a 10 out of 10. You know what? Hot take, I've never actually played Chrono Trigger. Harmon, your perception of a 10 out of 10 is if it has Nintendo, Mario, Pokemon, or Zelda on the box. That's it. Hey, don't forget Princess Peach. You can't forget Princess Peach. And Contra 1 and 2. Never played those games either. What is this one with Harmon about? Oh, it's just him whining and complaining that not enough people love Mario Kart World. Pretty much anything you criticize his piece of plastic on, he wants to throw a fit. Swap Yote with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and you got the list. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that game. I need to still give that game a shot.
Called out and addressed, because none of the predictions that
Now the question is, Blast, which one's going to win it though? I still think it's going to be Expedition 33.
Nintendo's had about this specific release have come true at all. This is a game that everyone said was going to fail because of the price point, because it was releasing on a new console, because of the intermission.
Well, I don't recall anybody ever saying it was going to fail because it's releasing on a new console. That makes absolutely no sense. I guarantee if the Switch 2 failed right here and now, they would have just ported the game over to the Switch 1 for crying out loud. But many people, which I was one of them, was going to say that the game's going to fail due to the price point. I turned out to be incorrect. Unlike you fanboys, I can actually admit when I'm wrong.
People freaked out about this release, complaining about the mechanics, the character select screen, all the modes, there was so much about this game that was just brought up and addressed and nitpicked. And the reality of it all is that none of it has really amounted to much. Mario Kart World has become this huge monumental success story. And at this stage,
and the reason why, it just shows how bad the fanboyism goes. Expedition 33 is probably going to win it. The thing is, if Expedition 33 or Silksong doesn't win it, there will be riots. That one is very true. Imagine if they give DK Bonanza it. I don't know about you, I did enjoy DK Bonanza, but I still stand by what I said. I did not think there was enough quality content to justify that $70 price tag.
Harder to deny it. By the time the next Mario Kart comes out, this is going to be considered an all-time classic because the people who actually played
Harmon, just because the game's old doesn't automatically make it a classic. I really hope you understand that.
These games will have spent the past 5 or 6 years playing this one relentlessly. In that way,
it's probably because you guys have nothing else to play at the moment.
It will be no different than Mario Kart 8, a game that was also wildly hated and disrespected when it first came out, if not more so.
Blast, do you remember Mario Kart 8 being hated? I do not remember it. Now, I don't even remember the Wii U. That thing went through so damn quickly. But during the Switch 1, I do not remember hearing complaints and how much people hated Mario Kart 8 outside of people wanting a new Mario Kart game. So what is Harmon even talking about?
So, only to go on to be considered the best racing game ever made by a lot of people. The way things are looking now, all of the nitpicks and concern trolling about Mario Kart World aren't even going to survive the year. And
it's because of fanboys like you that are louder than we are. What do you expect, Harmon? Mario Kart World looks fun. It's Nintendo's first party games. Nintendo knows how to make games, but it's not worth the asking price it has. Those are facts. DK Bonanza is the flop of the year. I wouldn't really say it's a flop, but it is definitely overpriced. It is like a bad dream for the rare era DK fan. Yeah, that's true. Nah, DK Bonanza isn't the worst outcome. That would be Yote. Okay. Yeah, okay. I might actually. I haven't played Yote, but I would actually probably have to agree with you. The end section reveal was cool though. Yeah, the story was great in DK Bonanza. I love the story. Nah, it was an impressive game. The only reason people complained was because they wanted a new Mario Kart. That's what I thought it was. So what it seems like that he's trying to make it seem like so many people hated the game. Still, the bosses are too easy too. Oh yeah, that game is extremely easy. Not as easy as Kirby, but that game was easy.
I expect that over time, this game is going to be considered more and more of an all-time classic because I have been really, really shocked at just how much time I've spent playing this game.
Again, Harmon, it's because you don't really have a whole lot of games to play. It's okay. You can admit it. You're playing out of boredom.
And I am not the only one.
Well, oh, hey, what's up, Jay Biggs? Man, I'm sorry. The live stream's about to be over, man. You came at the last minute. It's okay. It'll still be up and you can rewatch it. I reacted to some excellent salty fanboys, so please go back and rewatch it. Harmon Smith doesn't like Astrobot. That doesn't surprise me because it's not on his piece of plastic. The only reason why he doesn't like it is because it won Game of the Year and because Princess Peach Showtime or Mario and Luigi Brothership did not win it. That's the only reason why. I guarantee you, if it would have been made for Nintendo, he would have loved the game. Well, guys, I really appreciate you guys coming through. I am definitely enjoying doing these live streams every Monday morning with you guys. I might do another live stream on Friday morning because it's rumored that the next Nintendo Direct is supposed to be Friday morning. And that will be the first time that I am not working when Nintendo does a Direct. So I might do a surprise live stream. We will have to find out and see. But I really hope you guys have a great day. Make sure you drink your coffee. It is time for me to have breakfast and spend some time with the wife. So I really hope you guys have a great day. I can hardly believe Peach Showtime is still 60. That don't surprise me as Nintendo. They are ruthless. Yes, they are. Well, you guys have a great day and good luck.